We've got red smoke flying, cheerleaders tumbling, cannons booming, and the lane train ready to roll again. He's become the subject and talk of all of college football with what he's accomplished here in Oxford, and he is ready to get excited and be aggressive tonight. It's going to be a short week for this Ole Miss team. Egg Bowl waiting in just a few days, and so the question is, how do they handle this opponent tonight and look forward to a rivalry? Cole Kublik down on the field and waiting for Lane to make his way over. He rocked a nice suit earlier today, came out in the hoodie and came out all business. Visor on looking good, Cole.
I actually never run out with them. I'm always like at the end. And Matt and Plumlee were like, all right, you're running out with us. And then there's all the smoke, and they stepped on me. I lost my shoe.
That's a good sign for tonight.
Yeah, it's a cool night. It's, let's put on a show.
You said your team has had to take a whatever it takes mentality this year. What's it going to take tonight?
I don't know. The three top receivers warmed up, so maybe it'll be like it was at the beginning of the year.
You mentioned the final home game for Matt Corral.
Well, I'm just taking in the moment and enjoying the moment, not worried about what's next. And so I'll just watch them one play at a time and enjoy it.
Thanks, Coach.
Welcome to Vaught-Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi. It's a final home game for Ole Miss. Vandy is here looking to play an upset role. Jordan Rogers standing by with Vandy head coach Clark Lee.
Coach, we saw both Mike and Ken last week. What's the status of the quarterback situation tonight?
It's going to be Mike to start tonight. He had a good week of prep. Ken's been banged up. He's available, but Mike was healthy all week. We're going to go with Mike.
Got a Heisman hopeful candidate on the other side. What does this defense need to do to slow him down tonight?
Well, it's all three phases that have to be interlocked to slow the offense down, and obviously the quarterback makes it go, but we got a challenge ahead, but it's about focusing on us, what we control, and doing the little things the right way. And when we do that, we've been pretty good this year. So
you're building a culture and a program here. What do you want to see on the field tonight?
I just want to see the guys step into the fight for 4 quarters. Can we string together 4 quarters of football? We haven't played a complete game yet this year. We need to do that tonight to have a good result.
Good luck, Coach.
What a scene at Vaught-Hemingway. We're going to have a different look and a brand new perspective. All 3 of us on the field tonight. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kublik, as we get set to watch this Ole Miss team perhaps reach new heights. Ole Miss will get the ball to start the game. And Jordan, you get the feeling that this Ole Miss team wants to strike first and strike fast.
No doubt. This Ole Miss team is explosive. I expect them to come out the gate.
Angled kickoff to the far corner. And so Ole Miss will come on the field with Matt Corral at quarterback and a guy who's been electric all season long. Mark Curls, our referee. So here is Corral, one of the top 5 favorites for the Heisman Trophy, and see if he can take advantage to get aggressive tonight.
As a receiving core, it's going to be as healthy as it's been in a long time. Number 1, Jonathan Mingo, back from an injury for the first time. Out of these bunch formations, they like to take shots. See the bunch formation here with Drummond and Braylon Sanders?
Corral steps up, finds Jerry and Ely, who slipped his way into the heart of the defense. So many weapons available to Matt Corral. You mentioned the receivers. And, oh, by the way, Ely, one of the best hybrid running backs in the game.
Yeah, they have a 3-headed monster at running back. Henry Parrish, Snoop Connor. And like I said, Jonathan Mingo really rounds out the talent as healthy as it's been around Matt Corral.
Here's Sanders on the edge. He's already to midfield and passed it, and all the way down to the 46-yard line. And now we see the tempo for Ole Miss, just like they showed against A&M last week.
That's what's so difficult. This Vandy team has got to communicate well and get line, get their cleats in the grass fast.
Corral, play action, looking over the middle, caught for another Ole Miss first down. Ontario Drummond, they're sharing the ball.
This is what's so hard about defending Matt Corral, how he uses his eyes, looking to the right, coming back to the left to find Drummond wide open.
Corral marching Ole Miss down the field, first possession. Another quick hit, right over to Jordan Rogers. Sanders lost it at the end. It'll be ruled a catch in that spot right at the 8-yard line if my eyes don't deceive me.
This is what's great about this angle. Look how quickly that ball got out here on Braylon Sanders. The speed that Matt Corral gets the ball on the perimeter is what makes the difference for their quick passing game.
This view is incredible. The access is insane. Here's a touch to Ely. He's got room on the left side, and an Ole Miss touchdown. Just like that. Opening drive for Matt Corral and the Rebels. One of the top offenses in college football. Top 15 in 9 different offensive categories. That drive took just 5 plays to cover 65 yards. 1:07 off the clock, and a point after coming. Caden Costa punches it through. Jordan Matt Corral gets a lot of attention for good reason. He's got a big arm. He's got great legs. Talk about the eyes.
Yeah, his eye control and his ability to manipulate the defense is what separates him. But look at it. It's not just the eyes. You look this way, the defense doesn't fall for that. It's what he does with his shoulders, his hips, and his legs. He gets him all the way to the throw. Then he'll work back to the right. He moves his entire body to play with the free safety. These Vandy safeties are taught, don't get fooled by just his eyes. If he separates the hands, that's when you break. Don't fall for the double pump, and don't fall for just the eyes.
You like being down on the field?
What'd you say?
You like being down on the field?
Oh, it's great. You see that? But on that, we just saw that drive.
Yeah.
Matt Corral looked to the right, got his whole body that way, came back and found Drummond right over the middle. That moves defenders. It's so hard to guard against that.
You know, we came all the way down on the field to spend time with Cole, and we're ostracizing him again. I promise we'll find him. Touchback, and that'll bring Vandy out. Let's look a bit more what you're talking about with Matt Corral's eyes.
Yeah, this was last week. Watch how he manipulates the free safety here. Looking right, using his eyes, getting back left. And watch the separation that creates. He wants to get that safety to open up in the opposite direction so that it takes him some time to redirect. That's what creates the 8 yards of separation. Again, looking left. Watch his hands. See how he separated the ball in the hand there? That gets the free safety to move to the field. And bam, only 5 yards of separation. If he doesn't manipulate those defenders, sometimes that could be a bang-bang play and an incompletion.
First possession for Vanderbilt. Mike Wright getting the start at quarterback, his 4th start this season. He is run first, and they're going to run here with a little option. Patrick Smith dragged down, but a positive run play to start the possession for Vandy.
You saw the blitzing linebacker in the front side A-gap, so play side A-gap. What that allowed is the will linebacker, Tom, to be able to run across that line of scrimmage unscathed. That front side guard not able to climb to the second level.
Wright has 2 of the best plays of the season for Vanderbilt with that run game. Runs against Missouri of 69 and 70 yards, respectively. Little play action. Looked like there was a missing piece there, and Wright able to make a little something out of a nothing before brought down by Ole Miss, and this will set up 3rd down.
Can already see
so
Vandy's
here's Mike
game
Wright.
plan.
He's got elite speed. He's always had it, but it's a different game plan for Wright versus Ken Seals.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of speed option. They want to get the ball onto the perimeter against this 3-down front structure. Get them to widen, and then those holes through the middle will open up.
Cam Johnson was in motion. Wright looking left, back right, no time! And he goes down with a sack on 3rd down. And Mike Wright is slow to get up, holding his face mask.
And it was Cedric Johnson, I believe, off the outside. Vandy tried to go quick game out of the bunch set, but guys weren't open quick enough. And this Ole Miss front with Sam Williams, Cedric Johnson, much improved at getting after the quarterback, as you saw there.
Right tackle Bradley Ashmore tried to go low, tried to cut didn't work out. And obviously, you go cut, you got to get that defender down.
Harrison Smith to punt it away, gets it away clean. And a fair catch taken by Ole Miss. Matt Corral led the Rebels on a drive. First possession back after this. It's a beautiful night in Oxford. Why relegate yourself to a broadcast booth up there? Come down with Cole where he's getting his stretching in. This is always how you see the game. This is really cool.
This right here is the best seat in the house, especially when the ball is down inside the red zone. Either going out, coming in, you're able to actually watch the line of scrimmage. You're at field level with everybody. I just got to get you focused in, dialed in. You're here looking up in the stands.
There's a lot going on.
People yelling your name. You're distracted.
Like a puppy in a squirrel park.
We got to get you locked into football right now.
There's a lot going on down here. Jordan Rogers is over there on the other sideline. He's kind of a big deal.
People know him.
I was just listening in over here, watching Vandy meet after that drive.
How did Mike Wright look after he came off the field? It looked
fine.
like he took a shot.
Yeah.
All right, so Matt Corral and Ole Miss back at it. And they're able to grab the perimeter with Jerry and Ely. Who, by my money, Cole, this is one of the most exciting guys in college football.
And they have really begun to utilize him a little bit more recently. The favorite thing that I've seen from the last couple weeks, first play of the game against Liberty, he decleats a Liberty linebacker coming out leading the way.
Able to pick up 12 yards on first down. Now Corral looking deep over the middle. And he's able to find it on the perimeter. Another Ole Miss first down, and the Rebels marching again, Jordan.
That play right there, Braylon Sanders on a deep post, took both the corner and the safety, Deshaun Jerkins, which opened up that corner out underneath. It's a scissors concept. Post, corner, Ja'Cour Pearson ended up being wide open.
Pearson's been on fire lately. Here's Ely once again trying to get between tackles, and Vandy gets fantastic penetration. Let's look at that last play.
Again, a great job by Matt Corral of getting those safeties to go with the post, right? Get them to go there. That opens up that corner out for Pearson.
Corral checking pre-snap, fakes a hand clap, looking over the middle. Here's the bullet complete to Drummond. He's got it at the 15-yard line and further. And another Ole Miss first down to the 10.
Jordan, we talk about it every week. Offenses that are not afraid to attack the middle of the field are so much more difficult to defend. Not many people do it better than Matt Corral.
And the exact same play we saw right here last drive. We got man coverage on Braylon Sanders on the boundary right now.
Vandy showing pressure from the edge with Orji. Here he comes. Slant, knocked away. Great job to get his hands up. Ricky Wright, who was in that slot looking like he was going to come, batted it down.
Well, you have to try to change some things at the second level against this offense because it's so RPO-based. It used to be actually RRO-based, but they have removed some of the run-run options because of Corral's ankle.
Been dealing with that injury since the Tennessee game when he carried the ball 30 times.
Boy, going to get a form of cover 6 right here. 2 to the boundary, 4 to the field. Want to try to tack down the middle.
Corral has it, lobs in zone. DeRicky Wright with the coverage and incomplete, trying to find the tight end Kelly.
It's a perfect play down here in the red zone, right? That void is going to be in the middle of the field. You get 27, the safety, to bite up on the play action. A little pop pass to the tight end. Almost there. Vandy did a good job of recovering.
Tell you what, from this perspective, you see how fast not only this offense runs, but those play develop on that play action. And the conflict that it really puts the linebackers in with a great tight end. Henry Parrish in a tailback. Corral looking, fires, batted away. Fantastic coverage on Drummond on the Vandy back end.
Yeah, that's Alan George in the nickel. Hasn't played a ton in that position. Clark Lee told me we're going to get him in that spot a lot more. The speed that Ole Miss has in the slot, they want Alan George, really one of their fastest guys on the back end, in there, and that's exactly why.
So you're going to love this. You stand right by the goalpost, and you look straight up. That way, if it's close or it goes over the goalpost, you actually get to see it.
Yeah, but it's a chip shot. It's not going to be close. Can we catch it off the net?
He's got to get it up, though, because he's so close.
Okay. Hey, guess what? It's good. And it's into the student section. He's making friends. Ole Miss has scored on each of its first 2 possessions. It's a 10-0 Rebel lead.
SEC Saturday Night is presented by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G network. And in part by Beef. It's what's for dinner.
Who is that good-looking, strong-arm quarterback with terrible hair? That's Jordan Rodgers.
Look at all that lettuce.
Directing a Vandy comeback in 2012, 21-36, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pretty good game for you.
Crazy last drive, too. I remember that last play where we were in trips, 3-jet, stop route on the backside, and actually they blew a coverage. I thought they were going to roll to cover 3. The corner set, thinking his safety was going over the top to 2. They didn't. Wide open for Chris Boyd down the sideline.
You got give your barber a tip because once you made the change.
Back then.
Yeah. Bueno. We're down on the field. We got full access here. Sack of Mike Wright ended Vandy's first possession. And we'll see if Vandy has something to answer with after falling behind 10-0. No return. This season, Allstate will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. Cole, I thought we'd have a chance at the ball off the net, but Costa cleared the net on his 28-yard field goal.
I told you he had to get it high. Those short kicks, they got to get it up into the sky early, avoid the block.
All right, Jordan, what can we expect from Mike Wright and his Vandy offense?
Well, you want to get him comfortable, right? We saw a couple quarterback runs early. They have about 5 true quarterback runs in their system, about 12 to 14 total with his zone reads. Got to get him comfortable throwing the football. A quick, easy throw to start this drive. They go with quarterback draw.
And he's lucky to fire that one to the sideline incomplete. He had nowhere to go.
Yeah, this might have been one of the options. Got the option to throw or keep it. He decides to keep it. It was plugged up. Great job by Ole Miss up front there. But got to get him comfortable. I can get him outside the pocket. Maybe a short, easy throw. Get him comfortable. Calm him down. He's a high-energy guy. Get this drive going.
Cole, Cedric Johnson having an impact early.
Very quick move inside. Again, he's got that free run out there. He's turned him much more into not just a pass rusher as he was about a year ago.
And they got some pretty good ones on that defense. Trying to get out of the backfield and find some space. A beautiful little stiff arm from Patrick Smith, freshman from Atlantic City. Speaking of pressure, a guy like Sam Williams got the single-season sack record here.
Yeah, he's a stud, and Vandy has to have a plan for him tonight. Back when I used to play, I played Jadeveon Clowney. Every time we walked the line of scrimmage, I slid the protection in his direction. On a third down, you want to make sure number 7 has double team. I expect number 42, Patrick Smith here, if it is a pass, to chip on number 7, try to give out some help.
3rd down 5. Right, pressured immediately from the edges, and they get him. 7 came from one side, 95 and 44 the other.
That was snapped early. I don't think Mike Wright was ready for that. Some confusion with the offensive line as Joey Lynch is talking to the center right here on the sideline. Might have been trying to do a double cadence, right? Get Ole Miss to show the defense. Make an adjustment. That ball was snapped way too early. Mike Wright and the offense weren't ready.
Jordan, I think he was telling him that we had a guy coming in motion. You got to wait for the motion. So not only was it a little bit early, it was way early.
Yeah, sometimes you send that motion, try to get them to jump, right? Or get them to show pressure, and you're able to adjust.
They come after this one and almost got it. Smith gets rid of it. And that'll check up. And another opportunity for Matt Corral. You know, Lane Kiffin is Matt Corral's biggest fan, and he could get into politics and lead this campaign. Matt Corral for Heisman. But as impressive as Matt Corral has been this season in the numbers, in terms of spotlight games, he's really got one opportunity, and that's Thanksgiving night on ESPN in the Egg Bowl to try to put up big numbers and get some votes.
Yeah, just 5 days away, and right, what we saw from Bryce Young tonight, what we saw from C.J. Stroud, there's a lot of numbers out there. I tell you what, though, no one's had to play through more adversity. Adversity with injuries around him, adversity with his own injury.
Able to flip this one to the outside for Dontario Drummond, and he's able to get the sideline. Yeah, what a difference it makes having his 3 key wide receivers back.
It's a difference maker, right? With Mingo back, it allows them to play him to the boundary. Then Braylon Sanders and Drummond are on the same side.
Corral with the play fake right. Meanwhile, they run it left. And that looks like it's enough from the first down from this perspective.
Oh, yeah, you got a good angle there?
Yeah, no. We told Lane Kiffin what we're going to do tonight, and he goes, really? You're going to call the game from the field? How are you going to do that? We'll figure it out, Lane.
Look at the spacing here between the tight end, 81 right here, and the right tackle.
Corral looks left, now wanting to come back right. First man misses across his body and room for Parrish. We got a flag in the backfield, and Henry Parrish picks up about 14. Mark Curls, our referee tonight.
Holding number 78 offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
That's Jeremy James.
And I tell you what, Matt Corral looks healthy, right? Evading that rush, stepping up in the pocket, great vision to find the running back all the way backside. But yeah, you're going to see Jeremy James just getting a little too much of the defender there.
Really?
That's tough to do. Yeah.
Where did he get him?
I mean, probably on the jersey somewhere. I don't have a monitor in front of me, but I saw it live, and I'm, he held him, Tom.
He sure did. 1st and 20. Fake to Ely. Ely on the flat. They're going deep. Down the sideline. Sanders overthrew him by 3.5 yards. Why did you say uh-oh when that started?
What was that?
Why did you say uh-oh when that started?
You can see it. You can see the posture of Matt Corral as he's looking downfield. He's scanning where the safety is. He's finding man coverage. He's got Braylon Sanders on Allen George. Allen George, one of their fastest guys, but Braylon had him by 3 steps and just barely missed him. I mean, that was 3 feet away.
So 2nd and 20 now. Corral told us his peroneal injury that goes all the way down the right leg and impacting the ankle that has had him limited, and now he slides down. What we talked specifically, another flag on this one, is how that's impacted his game. Of course, against Liberty, they really limited the quarterback run game, and he said it was hard for me. I had to be so much more patient to not only make the reads I needed to in the passing game, but instead of sliding, just fall down. They wouldn't allow me to run at all. Fall
down and find your checkdowns, right? Something that, honestly, he also alluded to.
Holding number 64 offense. The penalties decline. Result of the play is 3rd down.
He also alluded to the fact that talking to his coaches, like, hey, this is something you're going to need to do at the next level, right? Can't run all over the place in the NFL. You're going to learn to play from the pocket, find your checkdowns. Kind of forced him to do that the last 3 or 4 weeks.
3rd and 15 from our vantage point. The Vanderbilt offense off the bench, close to the sideline, anticipating an opportunity to come back down on the field. Do that at your own peril with Matt Corral at quarterback.
First time they've had Mingo, number 1, to the wide side of the field. Ja'Cour Pearson now to the boundary.
Corral surveys, flushed on the run, and he will scramble out of bounds.
Interesting watching this plan from Vandy, because if you're thinking we don't want to, we want to take away the deep shots, we could stay in a 2-high shell, right? Vandy getting into a 1-high, they're rolling a safety down, really trying to stop those slants and those crossers from Ole Miss. Exactly where Matt Corral wanted to go on that one. That 3 buzz coverage, I'll get into it later, took that route away.
We talked with offensive coordinator Jeff Levy before the game. He said we want to be aggressive, uber aggressive. This is a low punt. It will hit an Ole Miss player on the heel, and so the Rebels will eventually stop it inside the 20. Mike Wright and the Vanderbilt offense huddling on the near sideline. They'll be back on the field in just one moment. I thought we were going to talk football for a second, then it turned into the world's largest karaoke party quickly.
You're going to find me up there in the student section at some point.
I don't doubt it. Let's talk Vandy offense. They played 2 different quarterbacks over the course of the season. We expect Mike Wright pretty much this entire game.
Yeah, and I expect him to continue to lead on the quarterback runs, right? Getting the ball on the perimeter against this 3-down front structure.
The Q runs are going to have to happen. We know they're there. He has elite athleticism, but as Jordan stated in the previous drive, he has to be able to do something through the air. You have to loosen up this Ole Miss defense through the air with some quick hitters, high percentage throws.
4 total yards so far for Vandy. Rocco Griffin is in at running back now. There's the toss to Griffin, trying to find the edge. Got great block from his wide receiver, and he turns it up for a Vandy first down. Chris Pierce Jr. sealing the edge.
Yeah, he's a big 6'4", 235-pound receiver, and if you're going to have success in the perimeter run game, wide receiver blocking is paramount.
And that's tough because that's an old school Okie front. So you have a nose and 2 wide defensive ends, which means there are more defenders out on the perimeter, but Vanderbilt's still able to grab yards.
Ole Miss's defense had a magnificent game last week against Texas A&M. Here's Wright, option, Griffin. That's a late pitch, and he set him up for trouble.
Well, I tell you what, right before that snap, I almost pointed out just how wide Chance Campbell was there. I mean, they're almost saying, no, you're not going to do that. We're going to put him right here. We're going to force everything back inside. That's really tough when that speed option gets stretched that wide.
When you start seeing option, Tom, what you'll get from defensive coordinators is they'll flash defenders to different places. So you'll take an inside linebacker, and at the snap of the football, boom, he's over in the alley, changing up their assignments a little bit, but also changing up their alignment from where the offenses thought they were going to be.
2nd and 10 now.
Man coverage.
Right to the quick out. Here's Pierce. Scrambles after it, and they get a few yards to set up 3rd and more manageable. Pierce had a pretty busy game against Kentucky. Had an interception on the final play of the first half. Had a touchdown later in the game. 3rd and 7.
Sam Williams going to be working here on left tackle Tyler Steen.
Big matchup. Steen, a senior. Williams around the edge. Right, steps up. Complete. Cam Johnson. And another Vanderbilt first down. Cole, you said they had to get the passing game. They got it.
And DJ Durkin made it a little bit easier. So both linebackers walked up over both guards, so you go 5-0 protection. You're forcing Vanderbilt to go man protection, but Jordan, that's going to give you man coverage on the outside.
And great anticipation there by Mike Wright. Threw that ball before Cam Johnson really got out of his break on that out route. Accurate, best throw he's had. Maybe that'll get him into rhythm.
Amir Abdul-Rahim, the wide receiver on the near side, is the only one who hadn't gotten a look yet. Here's Rocco Griffin. Vanderbilt has found some rhythm now in this drive.
Yeah, it's good to see Rocco Griffin back. I mean, he was healthy enough to play last week, didn't. He was out the week before. Patrick Smith, the freshman, has been getting a lion's share of the load there at running back, but Rocco Griffin is dynamic, just a sophomore, but one of the bright spots when he's at full 100%.
It was a 4-yard gain on first down. Griffin to the left now. And another chance. That was a big hole before Campbell came up to take him down.
I haven't changed the battery on your ear.
So a fresh set of downs for Vanderbilt. Right, hands it to Griffin again. Ran right up the backside of his right tackle. Bradley Ashmore trying to create some space for him.
Actually, a really good job on that right side by Ashmore, the right tackle, Castillo, the right guard. Not a huge hole there, but they were stout.
Second down, 6 now. Right, takes it himself, and he is just short. It looks like from here will leave 3rd and 1. 3rd and a couple, pardon me. Well, Mike Wright sure to go down early on that option look.
Yeah, I don't think he had a full awareness of where the sticks were. Last 3rd down, remember the snap early, they used motion to try to get an idea of what Ole Miss was doing. This time they come out in a trip set with 3 wide receivers to the left and a tight end, actually a quad set, trying to go unbalanced to see if they run back right.
On 3rd and 3, they go straight ahead.
Well, I think you got to go here, right? The momentum of this drive, you know Ole Miss is going to continue to attempt to push the ball down the field, put up points, and it is the offense staying on the field.
Vandy's converted 61% of their 4th downs this season. Griffin, the running back. He's got room. He's got the edge. Rocco Griffin with a flag coming in. Dances all the way down inside the 10.
Holding, number 19 offense. 10-yard penalty for the spot of foul. Replay fourth down.
And fellas, that is killer.
Oh, and we were just singing the praises of Chris Pierce blocking on the outside to see him in the tight bunch here. Working on battle. It's always when that run's supposed to go inside. When it bounces outside, the receiver's not expecting that. You just end up letting go a little too late, and you get some jersey of that corner.
From 4th and 1 to 4th and 6, and Vandy will bring on the kicking team. Josh Bulovis, game winner against UConn with time running out. First Vandy walk-off win since 1996. He's got the distance, and it's good. And Bulovis gets Vandy on the board. So how do you view that if you're Vanderbilt? I mean, the holding penalty took away a 1st and goal, but you're able to show that you can get downfield.
Yeah, self-inflicted wounds, right? But it still gives you some confidence coming to the sideline. We're right here in front of the Vandy bench. There's no heads down. It looks like they're confident, focused. I mean, that's a drive that really gives you some momentum. You move the football, you shake off that early drive, go, hey, okay, we can do this. Let's not get in our own way.
I think you've got to feel good about a couple of the completions you had there. You mixed up the run game a little bit, had a bounce-back run that went for a little bit. You had obviously a little bit more than the option that you had shown for the majority of this game. So have to feel good about things offensively if you're Vanderbilt.
That was a 49-yard field goal for Bulovis. Ended an 11-play drive. Plumlee and Ely back to receive for Ole Miss. Chance for a return. Jerry and Ely from the 5 to the 20 to the 30 and stood up at the 33-yard line. There's a flag on the play. Well, Mark Curls' crew's been busy tonight.
During return, holding, number 80, return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul. First down.
They're going to see 80 here just in front of Plumlee. Yep, just gets up around the shoulder, gets a little too much jersey.
Thanks to Wheels Up, helping make travel easier. Jordan was at SEC Nation in Tuscaloosa this morning, here in Oxford this evening. Even had time to get to Big Bad Breakfast.
For 2 breakfasts.
That's a pretty good day for you, my friend.
How's the breakfast burrito and the sausage, egg, and cheese? Don't mind if I do.
Matt Corral and Ole Miss scores on each of their first 2 possessions. And they'll keep it on the ground here.
A little bit better from that Ole Miss offensive line on that play. Fellas, I was behind the Ole Miss bench the last time the offense came off the field, and offensive line coach Jake Thornton was getting into this group, not happy with their performance up to this point.
Guys, what are we thinking about how long Matt Corral, and they want him to stay in this game from a play standpoint? Gets rid of this one to the edge. There's Ja'Cour Pearson, who's really turned it up lately. That's good for an Ole Miss first down.
Isn't it crazy right there just how quickly he flips his hips to throw that football? Like, really similar to like a middle infielder, getting a ground ball, turning 2, or getting a ground ball in the hole, flipping his hips and whipping one to first.
Punt left, he was covered, and Corral dives forward. When you're down on the field, the quarter just flies by. Corral and the Ole Miss offense will have the ball when we start the second quarter. Pretty good start for Ole Miss. Good drive for Vandy a moment ago. Back to Vaught Hemingway right after this. Saturday night in Oxford, it's a 10-3 lead for Ole Miss. We got a different vantage point down here on the field tonight. Jordan, you're behind the Vandy bench. How does it look and feel to you?
Tell you what, there's a lot of confidence over here after that last drive. Just a field goal, but got some momentum going, got some positive things going. I think the most impressive down here on the field is watching the tempo from Ole Miss, how quickly things move. What are you seeing, Cole?
Well, obviously, seeing Lane Kiffin going out there talking to Matt Corral, I think he's a little bit concerned about how much he's run the football tonight. That was something that they thought they had gotten him out of. But Matt Corral utilizing those legs here against Vandy.
3 healthy wide receivers for Corral. The guys were on the first string to start the season, and Corral looking to go deep. Got pressured. On the run, another QB run. It turns into a scramble, and he dances for an Ole Miss first down.
I tell you what, really good coverage on the back end by Vandy. They went 3 buzz, so they have a safety that rolls down to grab the over route. That's where Matt Corral wanted to go to. Drummond wasn't there, but this is what makes him so special, using his legs, picking up a big gain.
Corral hands it up, and Snoop Connor is able to take it inside the 30. One of the Vandy players lost their helmet, and so Anthony Orji will have to come out for a play. First carry of the night for Connor, and he picks up a first down. Very patient run this time, and Connor takes it down to the 24-yard line. We were joking with Jeff Levy earlier in the week when we talked to him. Snoop Connor has turned into a touchdown vulture. He's the guy that usually gets it inside the 5, but doing work between the 20s now. Corral pulled it back. Nope. Go. And Jordan, he's forced in a quarterback run thanks to some good coverage on the perimeter by Vandy.
Yeah, that time looking for his tight end. Actually had him. Not sure if a defender flashed in his eyes. You know, sometimes down here, what you don't realize when you watch it on TV is just how much traffic is in front of the quarterback, right? So I think Casey Kelly was open there, but Corral, probably someone in his way, didn't see him.
Corral listed at 6'2", 200 pounds. Here's Connor. Room on the right side, a first down, and he takes it down to the 11-yard line.
Really nice block by Casey Kelly, cracking down. That crack replace from the Vanderbilt defense has got to be there. And there was no one home at that second level.
Touch to Connor. Takes his time, finds some space, and moves inside the 10. I tell you what surprises me down here at field level, guys, is just how patient Snoop Connor is waiting for these running plays to develop.
Well, this offensive line has done such a better job being able to understand some of the run schemes. We'll talk about duo a little bit later in the game. Obviously, inside-outside zone. This is where we might get duo right here out of pistol.
Corral fires. Here's Drummond. And Drummond stays on his feet, and he is in. Touchdown, Ole Miss. Drummond with a nose for the goal line. His 8th touchdown of the season. Caden Costa waiting for the point after. You know, every scoring play is reviewed. They don't necessarily have to stop play to do it, but the officials can discuss among themselves with their communications with their headsets. All clear given, it seems. 18th touchdown pass of the season for Matt Corral against just 2 interceptions. High snap. Costa punches it through. Matt Corral finds Drummond, and he works his way through traffic to get to the pylon. Ole Miss adds on and Vaught Hemingway. Dr. Pepper. A little party in the Grove to get things started. A little bit chilly down here on the field tonight, Colin. To unwrap the onion, one of the three of us on the broadcast crew moments ago taking selfies with Ole Miss fans in the end zone. It wasn't me. Was it you, Cole?
It was not. And showing how soft you are down on the field, not having your foot heater in the booth like you normally do.
Right. Ziegler and Griffin back to return for Vandy. And no return for Vanderbilt. Well, the last drive for Vanderbilt was certainly a positive. A holding penalty took away 1st and goal. They were able to get a field goal out of it, but it looked like Mike Wright found his rhythm overall.
I do think you have a few things to build on. I mentioned a little bit different in the run game. Now, DJ Durkin helped with that a little bit by bringing pressure multiple times. See how aggressive this Ole Miss front wants to be in this drive.
Rocco Griffin in at running back. Great vision to cut back when his initial hole was sealed.
It was a really nice cut because you saw Chance Campbell, 44, slide right across the football, untouched, in position to be able to fit that run and make a play for no gain. But the cutback is actually what helped gain a few of those yards.
Campbell, senior from Ellicott City, Maryland, transferred in from the Terps program. DJ Durkin's previous stop. Campbell showing pressure from the edge, and we get movement on the right side.
Easy way to help your quarterback right there. Change that snap count up, and you saw Ole Miss gave away the fact that they were going to slant on that last play. If they're getting too aggressive up front, you mix and match your snap counts, force the defense to play back and slow down a little bit.
Offside, number 96 defense in the neutral zone causing a reaction of offense. The 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Sophomore Isaiah Eitner move. Johnson in motion. Right hands it off to Griffin. Another positive play for Vanderbilt before Griffin was brought down by Cedric Johnson.
Just a little eye candy, right? The long orbit motion gets those linebackers and secondary players to bump over a little bit to help set up all those blocks for the offensive lineman. Get back inside.
I'm trying to show you that 55 KD Hill slanted on that play. Took himself right out of the play, Jordan. Get with it.
You'd be terrible at charades.
Yeah, I thought you were dancing over there.
Here's Griffin again. Big hole for Griffin before he's hit in the secondary as it takes it past midfield.
Really good push right now for this Vandy offensive line. Holding up well.
I've always wondered, when you get a true Okie look, so you get a zero nose, head up on the center, those two wide ends, you have to attack right at that defense. What we haven't seen yet is how aggressive the Ole Miss linebackers were a week ago against A&M. They were flying up to the football. They haven't played necessarily that way so far in this game. Probably didn't think they had to.
Griffin again. That time good push up front by Lakia Henry and company for Ole Miss.
So watch your nose guard strike off the football. Get those hands inside. That's an excellent job from KD Hill. Number one, burst off the football. That get off wins that rep. Then the hands inside, strike that offensive center, and that allows him to be able to shed off and help make that play. Excellent technique inside. More 4-down look here from Ole Miss.
On 2nd and 9, Wright being chased, and he dumps it to Johnson. Couldn't hold on.
Man, that's where you want to live in this offense. You want to be able to run the football. You want to be able to get Mike Wright outside the pocket. It's actually a really good ball to Cam Johnson, just dropped. Now you get yourself in a 3rd and long. This is where you really got to worry about Sam Williams, number 7, the star edge rusher for Ole Miss. He's going to be lined up on Bradley Ashmore, the right tackle here.
10.5 sacks on the season for Williams.
He's really wide. I would expect something upfield from Williams here.
right? Had to escape Williams. Fires just wide to Pierce. He's able to pull it in and fight forward, but he'll be short of the first down.
Those head games there. I mentioned.
How about that?
Out wide, I figured 7 would be getting north and south upfield, trying to cut down that angle to the quarterback. And what does he give? An inside move.
I thought it was great, right? And we talked to him about that. He wants to really set up that speed rush, and on that second step, get power back inside.
4th and 3. Jordan, what do you expect?
I expect hit Mike Wright out of the pocket. Last time they were in this trip set, they tried to throw a quick flat route.
Wright rolls, sprinting now, and he's able to dance out of bounds and pick up the first down.
Boy, not sure if that was a designed get him outside the pocket or not, but great decision by Mike Wright, trusting his legs there. Just sees green grass and says, I'm faster than you, I'm going to get 4 or 5 here.
It's a 17-3 Ole Miss lead. I feel like this is a huge momentum drive for Vanderbilt. Wright will hand it off. And a huge hole and another Vandy first down. Patrick Smith takes it down to the 11.
Well, this is an excellent job by Tyler Steen, Jordan, excuse me, because you saw that front reduced down just before the football is snapped. That is a very late adjustment that mentally an offensive lineman has to make, and it is not easy.
I was just going to say a great cutback because A.J. Finley came rolling down in the box hard but went outside, and Smith cut back up inside.
Wright with the option look. Close pitch to Patrick Smith. Can't get vertical, and they'll take him down for a 2-yard loss. Spacing has seemingly been off on those option pitches tonight, Jay.
Yeah, it's really hard because Ole Miss knows it's coming. They're making you widen out. Those linebackers are playing flat, playing wide. That's what you want to do against a speed option. You just want to push it to the sideline. It creates no angles. The quarterback wants to get downhill there, force the linebacker to come at him and create space for the running back, but Ole Miss not allowing them to do that.
Johnson in motion. Vandy will run it again with Patrick Smith. This one better. Takes it to the 10.
Really hard running by Patrick Smith. I am 20 yards away. I was just going to say, as he runs to the sideline, he looks a little tired there. Just didn't have the juice in his legs when he went to make a cut in front of A.J. Finley there.
Third down 8. Rocco Griffin has replaced Smith in the backfield.
Forcing that 5-0 protection again.
We get a timeout for Vanderbilt. Well, I think this timeout really epitomizes the importance of this drive for Clark Lee and the Vanderbilt program. It's been a while since they won an SEC game, and they have a chance to deliver another message with a score here.
Yeah, absolutely huge. And Cole, to your point, I think you explained real quick what that 5-0 means, because they're trying to make one-on-one matchups for this Vandy offensive line across the board, right?
That old Okie front that we've mentioned a couple times tonight, 0 nose, 2 wide ends, that's going to occupy the center and both tackles. You walk up both linebackers over both guards. Therefore, all 5 offensive linemen are covered. You really don't have many options other than just to man that up. Sorry. Tell him right there. He's right there. Tell him.
And this is why we're down on the field.
We're down here.
Lane giving Tom some nuggets with information.
Yeah, Lane told DJ Durkin, go cover 0 here, blitz 0. He said, let's see if the coordinator listened.
Oh, I love it. So they're stacking the line of scrimmage. They're going blitz 0 here. You're going to see A.J. Finley.
Movement early.
False start. Stafford pressure, number 62 offense. 5-yard penalty still.
Jordan, if you're Mike Wright, you identify cover 0. What does that do to your heart rate?
It gets me amped up, but it tells me where's my one-on-one matchup? Where's my stud that's going to win? I'd look for Chris Pierce, big-bodied receiver, but those O-linemen look nervous.
That wasn't the problem. They weren't even showing it.
Yeah.
That was a center issue there.
All right, Cole, we're going drop 8 now. We cover 0 to drop 8. Right. Looking through 8 defenders, back in the end zone. Too strong for Pierce. No flag on the play.
What was great about that is the drop 8 looked almost identical to when they were going to bring the cover 0 look. They have an out and up on the outside by Chris Pierce. Really good coverage there by Dean Leonard.
But to your point, pre-snap, it looked exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Tom will never leave that spot the rest of the game.
Yeah, stay over there, Tom. You're getting good info.
What else you guys want to know? Bulovis has already nailed a long one. And that went into the student section and good. And things are moving fast down here, huh? Vandy back on the board again.
Matt Corral starting off hot. One of the most impressive things about him is his ability to throw off platform. And what better explanation do we need from a baseball player, right? It's more like a middle infielder than it is a pitcher. I got Gray Kessinger here with me. Ole Miss fans will know you well. Second-round pick, still with the Astros organization. So you're a shortstop. You get a deep ground ball in the hole. You got to fire it to first. Talk to me what you have to do to throw off platform successfully.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got a ball in the hole. You got to get over there, and the most important thing is you got to get in your legs. You got to get in your legs to have that base to throw off of, and then after that, you got to have a short arm action. You got to be able to get that ball up.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, if you got a long arm action, you don't really have feel of it. You don't have control of it. Everything
right?
You get disconnected.
Yes.
So if you have that short arm action, you're able to throw from different slots, different angles, and you're still able to use your hips, your lower half to get behind it and really get some velocity on it.
And that's exactly what I see from Corral. Right?
Yeah. I mean, here's Jaron Ely on the return, and he's got room up the middle of the field. And a solid return for Ely, and now setting up Corral for more of that, Jay.
And it's interesting. Back in the day, I feel like when you recruited a quarterback, you wanted the big, tall, strong-arm pitcher. Not anymore. With the RPOs, what you mentioned, the short arm action, you got to be able to get that ball out quick. You got to be able to stay connected, right? I don't think the audience knows what that means. What does staying connected with your lower body and upper body mean?
Yeah, staying connected. You're using your body perfectly, right? Your hips are generating
balance,
the force.
Right?
Yeah, balance. Your hips are generating the force, and that's how even if you're a little moving or whatever, if you have a good connection here, you can still get that force to throw from whatever slot you need.
So kids, you want to be a good quarterback? Play some baseball.
Absolutely.
Shortstop, second base, that'll set you up to be an RPO king.
That's it.
Injured player for Vanderbilt looks like Pearson Cook, who's being tended to. By the way, thanks to Gray for making it out here today. Not like you got to twist anybody's arm to come to a game at Ole Miss, especially being from Oxford. But he played yesterday in the Arizona Fall League, caught a flight right after the game ended with his beautiful wife. They arrived at 3 a.m. and said, yeah, I'll come to the game tonight and do some work with Jordan Rogers. Corral with a long chat with Lane Kiffin, who's outside the numbers right before coming to the huddle. Cole, you feeling a shot here?
He spent a lot of time talking to Matt Corral during that break. Casey
Kelly, the tight end, motions. Corral on play action. Got spun around in the backfield, on the run, complete to Ely. And Ely gets taken down immediately. Well, there's a great example, Jordan, getting off platform and still having the body control to complete the throw.
Yeah, and it was great what Gray mentioned about balance and connection, right? In order to continue to have velocity off platform, it's really in your lower body, being violent and balanced with your lower body, having a short arm arc. That ball comes out quick and it comes out hot.
Ely, first man misses, second man shook, and finally gets popped down after another first down run for Jerrion Ely. Play action, Corral looking, lobs it in zone, Sanders double coverage, and it is nearly picked after Sanders kept it alive with his right hand. Deshaun Jerkins almost had it fall right in his number in the end zone.
I tell you what, Vandy's doing a good job of staying over the top. This one, look, Matt Corral knows this is going to be a jump ball situation. It wasn't wide open, but he's thinking my guy's going to go up over one or two of yours. Great job by Vandy on the back end there.
Corral to Jackson. Got it. First down inside the 15.
This is such a difficult throw. I know it doesn't look like it, but Matt Corral actually has to take some velocity off this ball. Throw this one with a little touch to throw his guy open.
Touch pass. Parrish. Fighting to get to the 10. Second and 7. Corral waggles right, lob, and a mistimed jump by Dontario Drummond. He's all smiles after that one. He knows that was a missed opportunity, even though it wasn't a perfect throw.
He's trying a little pick play down here in the red zone. Yeah, good underneath coverage, really closed that window. Corral tried to go over the top, wasn't there.
Lane really frustrated through the play sheet there, staring up at the full moon.
It's not a good throw either. Usually when it's a throw, it's a good thing.
That's the moon? I thought that was your head. Quickly to Mingo. And he gets taken down just as quickly.
Boy, Judy Lally out there made such a good break on this ball. I mentioned how quick Corral's release is. That's when it pays dividends, right? Those quick throws to the perimeter. But Judy Lally all over that one. And that ball came loose, but I think Mingo was down and recovered it.
They'll go for it. Fourth down, Lane Kiffin with a quick whistle and wants a timeout. He's got to make a decision here. They're going to stick with the fourth down call or change his mind. Back to Oxford in a moment.
For the Mannings tonight.
You've reached Peyton and Eli. Leave a message.
Hey guys, John Mann here, and I love to do the telecast. You guys, I mean, we can diagram Peyton's head. Boom! Watch Peyton and Eli. You'll never know who dropped by. Wow!
Matt Lindsay is the guy in charge of the analytics. He carries the book for Lane Kiffin, who is all the way out inside the hashes. Can leave the offense on the field on this 4th and 5. Feels like a conservative book tonight.
Matt Lindsay told me before the game this book was very conservative heading into this matchup with Vanderbilt, especially compared to the last few weeks.
Nobody goes for it on 4th down more than Ole Miss. Corral rolls right. Got options. He is past the line of scrimmage and inside the 5 where he gets wrestled down short of the first down.
Really nice block from Snoop Connor there.
Oh, just great coverage on the outside. They try to sprint right, 2 out-breaking routes by Sanders and Drummond. And again, said it a few times tonight, good coverage by Vandy there, right there with him. Corral tried to make a play with his legs, but big stop on 4th.
Jordan, you surprised that they sprint him out twice down in there inside the red zone?
Not really. I love that call, actually. I know Matt Corral's healthy, but not 100%, but still, you get him out on the edge. It changes the angle and shortens some of those throws a little bit. That's why you do it more so than to really run it.
Ball's on the field. But we had movement up front before, and Jordan, nothing was going right from a timing standpoint. The entire Vanderbilt offensive line started to move before the ball came back.
That's a few times, right? I mean, Mike Wright has played some football and quite a bit for Vanderbilt, but you get into a hostile environment, you get into a situation where Ole Miss is moving a lot up front.
False start. Multiple players on the offensive line. After this is to the goal, still first down.
A lot of stunting, slanting up there up front. That gets those offensive linemen thinking and their clock going a little quicker than they'd like.
You would think the heart rate picks up when, as a quarterback, you're standing in paint. Rocco Griffin, the running back. A lot of conversation right side between the tight end Schoenwald and the right tackle Ashford. Able to go straight ahead and just get out of the end zone, and it was that close. Ole Miss getting great push up front throughout this game, Cole.
Well, we mentioned those linebackers and how they attacked the line of scrimmage last week against Texas A&M. 35, Mark Robinson here, and he's only lined up about 2 yards off the ball. That is a run blitz from 35 on that play, and that's why he was able to get into the Vanderbilt backfield so quickly.
He should know, a former running back himself. Griffin offset next to Wright. They're going heavy on the right side. Two tight ends there, along with Pierce, the big wide receiver. And it is loud for Wright. Griffin, just enough of a hole, and he takes it to the 5.
Boy, Sam Williams nearly had that in the end zone. Great move off the line of scrimmage coming from that end spot. Just got there a hair too late.
Jordan, this is obviously the closest I've ever been, but I just can't imagine the stress on an SEC quarterback, and you've lived it facing a blitzer like Williams when you're in the end zone.
Especially 3rd and long here, right? As a quarterback, I know those defensive ends are pinning their ears back and coming. I'm going to be throwing from my own end zone. That clock's got to go a little quicker than normal.
On 3rd and 8, they're going to run it. Griffin, a mass of bodies, takes it only to the 6, and they knocked his helmet off in the process. And Vanderbilt will have to punt it away. So here's one side of the analytics that I don't think gets discussed that much, guys, and we saw it against Texas A&M last week. You go for it, the 4th near the goal line, you don't get it, you give your defense a great opportunity to make a stand, and you're going to be gifted a short field.
Yeah, this is why, right? It's not just about trying to score more. It's the analytics and the odds of, okay, well, you're going to get good field the next time, work with a short field. So this is one where the analytics paid off, even though it didn't pay off in points on that 4th down.
Harrison Smith to punt it away. Drummond standing near side of the 50. Smith will roll a little bit. And end and over end. Drummond from the logo. He's got room. Schoenwald can't bring him down. Down to the 20-yard line. And great field position for Ole Miss. It started with a low kick. Ole Miss took advantage.
Well, the point of rolling your punter out is to give the coverage team more time to get down the field. That line drive punt that just gives a friendly bounce allows for the quick return, and then obviously Drummond able to get that thing out wide, contained not where it needed to be for Vanderbilt. Ole Miss sitting pretty.
John Rice Plumlee has entered the game, slot receiver for Ole Miss. Plumlee and Sanders near side. And now Plumlee will take the snap. They split out Corral. Starting quarterback 2 years ago. SEC quarterback rushing record. Double pass coming. Corral has all day. And now that clock quickens. Corral scrambles, fires. Sanders hit at the 5. Little pinball game down after Sanders made that catch.
Wow. Unreal.
Hey, Lane, give us a heads up next time. Here's Ely. No gain, maybe a yard. One other thing you hear down on the field, you may not over the TV, Lane Kiffin's whistle. It is shrill. It cuts through. He said, run, run, run. They want the tempo. And here they go. Touchdown, Jerrion Ely. Cole, how is your view?
Duo, again, we've talked about it a lot tonight. We've seen them have success with it previously. Jerrion Ely right here at Jordan and I in the end zone.
That was a great block there by right tackle Jeremy James, too, holding his guy up, and that provide that little cutback on that duo concept. It's so tough. Double teams up here by the goal line. You make a hole or two, allow your running back to see it and hit it.
Costa's point after is good.
With duo, you stress the double teams. That's obviously going to help the point of attack. You're going to get a little bit of extra movement. The flow goes away from the track of the running back. And it didn't take a lot of work from Jerrion Ely to punch that duo right into the end zone.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. Ole Miss has opened up a 24-6 lead on Vanderbilt. 2:15 left in the half. Ziegler, fair catch from the 5. More football action in 10 seconds. So Vanderbilt back on offense. Mike Wright's had a couple different running backs next to him tonight, and Jordan, they've both done an okay job sharing the load.
Yeah, I feel like it's been the mix of some quarterback runs on the outside that has really stretched this Ole Miss defense, and really the successful runs by the running backs have come between the tackles.
Trying to get outside that time.
All right, so Tom, we're down here in the back of the end zone. Vanderbilt not backed up as far as they were on the previous possession, but I want to hear from you how much appreciation you have now for the noise that a quarterback has to do when they're back in the end zone.
It's not just the noise, it's the sights, the sounds, it's everything. There's a giant video board in front of you. You see the fans up on the video board, the band, everything. It's loud. It's like walking through Vegas late at night. Like you're just assaulted all of the senses. Wright looking for his tight end. Instead, he goes to the far side to Cam Johnson. I mean, I was thinking about that, Cole, on the kickoff, actually, because Vandy's 2 returners are standing back here inside the 5, and they're looking straight ahead at this giant video board.
You think about other places like Auburn, like Oregon, the giant video board that they have now, those teams with the huge video boards, it just becomes that much more of a distraction, but it gives you a different appreciation for how things are at field level.
Chris Pierce over here on an island in front of me. Maybe some man to coverage here if they want to throw the ball on 3rd down.
3rd and 6, right? Batted down, fantastic play. We're going to flag on it, though. I thought Deontay Prince made a nice play, must have gotten there early.
Yeah, a little jersey pull. I got a great angle from this side. Just a stop route. 8 to 10 yards, man coverage. You're trying to push up, get the corner to turn his hips a little bit, stop
Pass
on a dime.
interference, number 5, defense. Penalty is a first down. It's foul the foul.
How early do you have to, Jordan, how early do you have to let this ball go?
Yeah, it's a timing route. It's the tough part is it's man coverage, so that route slows down a little bit more than it does against zone when you have a specific landmark. The timing was good from Mike Wright. The route was good, and a little hold on the outside. Too much jersey by Prince.
1:32 left in the half. Vandy trying to find some points before intermission. There's Patrick Smith again. What do we do at halftime? Do we get snacks or burgers? I'm going to bring you some hot chocolate.
You're probably going to want to go to the heated benches on the Ole Miss sideline.
They got some big heated blowing machines over here or something.
Yeah, they've got jet
your
fuel on
pants
the
like
Vandy
Harbaugh
side.
did last weekend, Jordan. Your suit's much more expensive than his khakis are. I'll give you guys a tour.
Toss to Griffin. Gets turned back inside with a nice little spin move. 3rd and short coming up.
Another nice read from Mark Anderson there. Again, 35, just jumping outside into that alley, having a quick understanding of where he needs to be and why. Bradley Ashmore just could not climb the ladder, get on that block.
Under a minute to go before the half. It'll be 3rd and 4. Jordan, what do you like?
Well, what's been successful so far tonight, it's been some of the zone read runs up the middle and occasionally getting Mike Wright outside the pocket, I think, at times, whether that's designed or not. I honestly might spread Ole Miss out a little bit here and try QB draw. Give them an RPO option, see if they vacate the box, and get him going north and south.
Yeah, one thing we haven't really seen from Vanderbilt tonight has been a screen. And the pass rush has been pretty good on the edges for the Ole Miss defense. So if you have something that you could float right behind one of those defensive ends, able to steal some yards.
The stacked formation here at midfield, I would expect a couple crossing routes on the release and try to go to 19.
Right off his back foot. Diving attempt, and that is caught for a Vanderbilt first down. Ben Bresnahan hauls it in.
Yeah, they wanted the quick under route by 19, Chris Pierce. It wasn't there, and Mike Wright. This is just being an athlete, right? I mean, using his mobility to fall away, throw that ball, a corner route, fall away to the left. That's so hard.
Bresnahan,
money.
He looked a little shook up after he got back to the line. Here's what they're looking for a moment ago. Pierce breaks the first tackle, back to the inside. 40 seconds left, 39, 38.
And you still have your timeouts. Vandy opting not to use them. Boy, I would have used at least one right there.
A lot of time right now.
I'd have used one.
Good 15 seconds, maybe 20. Right. Fires incomplete to the sideline, and they're left with 18 seconds now to 3rd and 6 coming up.
Yeah, so you don't use a timeout there, and you have a play that you feel okay about, but not a play that you can gather yourself, think about, and then still have a timeout for a field goal. Now you got 18 seconds, 2 timeouts. You don't need the 2 timeouts.
3rd and 2. Going to go the running play and have that timeout in their pocket. Able to pick up the first down and now use the timeout. Well, the pride of the South is coming up at halftime. You know, down on the field, I was able to do a little bit more research. Pride of the South is very prideful, but they're playing light today. All right, they got some injuries. They're missing over 40 band members due to a flu that has swept through the band. So instead of spelling out Ole Miss at halftime, it's just a true story. They can only spell the M. Yeah.
I don't believe you.
No, it's really? Absolutely true.
They could have just spelled Ole.
They could have.
OL.
Just take turns.
Yeah.
Tom, I got breaking news down here from the sideline. It's actually 60 band members that are.
Oh, wow. There's a couple. Another 20 dropped.
I played the recorder in like 2nd grade. Give me one of those feathered hats. I'm game.
13 seconds left in the half. Vandy with 1 timeout remaining. Ball in the 21.
You can still work the middle of the field. If you like a slant route, maybe to the slot here for Cam Johnson. You can still run the football if you like.
Going to throw, pressure from the edges. Right, escapes left, and will throw that one out of bounds at the marker. 6 seconds remaining.
What yard line are they on right now?
21.
20. See, with 6 seconds, you don't really have time to take a shot to the end zone.
So I feel, to your point, I feel like that was a missed opportunity just to try and force one.
Yes.
To take a chance.
Get a big body receiver that you like, give him a 50-50 ball. Now you don't have that opportunity because you're not going to have enough time to let them get to the end zone. So
I'll tell you another thing we're seeing from that Ole Miss defense that we weren't sure. Coach Partridge told us they might do it. Is Chance Campbell spying quarterback in the last couple of drives. You've seen him sort of trigger blitz a little bit late and then run with the QB either way.
Wright's going to get it to the middle of the field, take a knee, and they'll set it up for the field goal. How do you feel about a field goal? You're Vanderbilt. You're looking for your first conference win of the season. I understand points are important, but you take the 3 instead of taking a shot?
Yeah, I mean, well, you don't have time to take a shot. I think.
No, you understood.
Yeah, totally. I think, if you would have used the timeouts a little differently, maybe you could have. But yeah, you need points here, right? You don't want to just lob it to the end zone, hope you get it 7 or what. Not the case. Take the points, go into the locker room, build off the positive that you have, which was running the football well in the first half, really limiting some of the explosive plays for Ole Miss. They only have 25 points, but they haven't been able to hit those dynamic 60-yard bombs like we thought they might be able to.
And they've taken Vandy's explosive plays away. Corral 19 of 25, efficient, but unable to hit any big ones here in the first half. Bolivis back out there. 2 for 2.5. Harrison Smith, the punter, is his holder. Wesley Schelling is the long snapper. 40-yarder. And got plenty of distance and good. So Vandy gets it. 24-9, Ole Miss with the lead. The Rebels with 295 total yards of offense. Vandy with 167. Matt Corral, an efficient first half, but at the same time, they're able to keep the lid on him and keep him away from any big plays. Meanwhile, after Vanderbilt, Mike Wright took a sack on his first possession, they were able to find some rhythm to that offense. Let's go to Jordan with head coach Clark Lee.
Coach, how important were those points there at the end of the half to build off that in the locker room?
It's big. I mean, we get the and I felt like at times we've been able to establish the run. We just got to come out and play our game and keep chipping away at this lead. We've had some shots on defense to get stops, and we're having trouble tackling the quarterback, which we knew coming in was going to be an issue. We just got to settle ourselves down and come out and focus on us and play our game. But the boys are competing, and we got to stay in that mindset.
Awesome, appreciate it, Coach. Cole, what you got?
Coach Kiffin, you were obviously frustrated with Matt Corral on the first sprint out before he threw that incompletion. You came back to it. He's actually moved around a lot more than we anticipated. Just your overall thoughts on how he's played in the first half.
Well, kind of like our whole team, good, not great, which is what we're trying to get to. We played good on offense, stalled in the red zone again, and then on defense, we've given up too many yards. He held them to field goals. So we're up 15 in an SEC game, but we got to do a lot better.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
Great access from both head coaches. More access coming from the guys back in the studio. Dari, show is yours. Saturday night is brought to you by T-Mobile, Vaught Hemingway Stadium. The kick is out of the boot. We're down on the field, and Ole Miss with a 24-9 lead over Vanderbilt. Vandy's actually run more plays than Ole Miss in the first half. All right, so Matt Corral back out there. You had a chance to walk out there and field, talk to him. What did he tell you?
Yeah, it's cool being down on the field. He comes out early, and he's throwing bombs. I mean, he's launching them 50, 60 yards, and I'm like, usually you start a little slower, so I went out there, I'm like, all right, what's going to be the first touchdown pass of the second half? He's like, oh, we got something. I think they're going to take a shot at some point. They've been frustrated, haven't really been able to connect on some of those. And also, Jonathan Mingo hasn't been a big part of this offense yet, so maybe there's a hint.
I kind of wondered about Mingo with the tempo early. Game shape. Is he in condition to be able to handle that many plays?
Hey, the game's starting. Let's go.
See ya.
Oh, it is.
No return for Vanderbilt. One personnel note to remind you of: Jake Springer, number 1 for Ole Miss, had to miss the first half due to a targeting penalty in the third quarter against A&M, so he'll be back out there for A&M. I watched him during pregame warm-ups. He didn't take it easy, and this was, an hour and a half ago, and he worked up a full lather, getting loose for a first half he wasn't going to play. Mike Wright, 6 of 11 for 59 yards in the first half for Vanderbilt. Launches, man coverage sideline, and never had a shot for Cam Johnson.
Well, they brought Springer there on a pressure off the edge. He came around really fast, sped things up for Mike there. I think that's why that ball went so high. Wasn't anticipating secondary pressure.
Wright's got the wristband, and he's looking back over to the sideline, get another play, and get a couple signalers for Vandy. What's the quarterback thinking here?
Well, I think he got the wrong number. He was getting the right number from the sideline. Got a couple signalers down here. Sometimes you miss it.
Steps up, fires a bullet, and drop.
Second time in a row they brought Springer really hard off the edge. I mean, he comes flying off the edge. Maybe that's an adjustment, right? Vandy wanted to attack the perimeter so much in that first half. Had a little bit of success. Ole Miss says, no, we're going to set a firm edge now. Force everything back inside.
Nice pickup from Rocco Griffin, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
Running back stepped over, and he made it happen. Ole Miss showing pressure over on the right side of the offensive line.
Yeah, I think they're going to bring linebacker blitz through the middle here.
Creeping, but just to flinch. Campbell spying. Wright has to flush right. A long way to go on third down. And right at the marker. I couldn't see it. Just short by a step.
So it looked kind of like a blitz, but Chance Campbell there was just wrapping to spy on the quarterback. But Mike Wright able to escape the opposite way. Chance Campbell was on the left side. Wright escapes to the right. 4th and short. And this is one of those times you tell your offensive line, we got to get a yard. Give me a push. Come off with a low hat level.
He's got Rocco Griffin at tailback. Out of the shotgun. Griffin picks up the first down.
KD Hill, nose guard, slants to his right. So he goes off center over to the left guard. And really just a bad guess from the Ole Miss defense. That allows that inside zone play to the right to have free space, picks up first down yardage.
You know, we haven't seen Vanderbilt really push the ball downfield at all, really even attempt to push the ball downfield. It's not Mike Wright's strong suit, but it is something in talking to Clark Lee. That's who he wants this offense to be. They're not yet, but I imagine at some point here early, they're going to take a shot.
They took a shot. Springer with the pressure, incomplete behind Pierce. They brought Springer, they brought Campbell, they brought multiple guys.
So we're down here field level. I could see that ball come out flat, right? Mike Wright trying to throw a touch pass back shoulder, and Chris Pierce is looking up in the air. He's expecting that ball to come up over the top. Didn't even see it. By the time he saw it, it was on him.
I mean, you have to think Jake Springer pressure off the edge, right? We've had it every other play of this half.
He's creeping again. Trying to make up for lost time.
See that end reduced down. He's got the ability to come.
Griffin found a hole. Springer in there to help bring him down.
Actually kind of like the play call there, Jordan. You say, all right, you're going to blitz one off the edge every time. We'll run right at him. I'll give my back the opportunity to either cut inside of the pressure, or if he hugs it tight, we'll have the ability to bounce it outside, and there won't be any container.
3rd and 1. Vandy just converted a 4th and 1 a moment ago. And they're able to convert this one as well. Win after win in short yardage situation for Vandy.
This offensive line, really good push.
Well, not only good push, Jordan, but a nice job of picking up movement. DJ Durkin continues to go with slants and run stunts on 3rd and 4th and short yardage, and those are tough to pick up. Honestly, at that point in time, it's not even about getting much movement as it is just get a hat on the hat and hope your back can be able to make a move, find a crease.
Springer now on the right side of the Vandy line. Right, sets up. Here's the shot into coverage. It is intercepted by Ole Miss, or incomplete. It hit the grass after A.J. Finley had his mitts on it. Remember, he had the pick 6 against A&M to seal that win last week.
Yeah, just a post route, trying to take that shot I was talking about. Good air under the ball, just into coverage. Risky, but sometimes you got to take those just to take them, right? Just to show that you can do that and try to stop Ole Miss from creeping those safeties down around the line of scrimmage to stop the quarterback run and stop that tackle-to-tackle run as well.
James Ziegler now in at running back. He'd been out there for special teams, but this is first carry of the night. Freshman from Marietta, Georgia. Replaced by Griffin now. 3rd and 8. Does Ole Miss bring pressure, and where does it come from?
I think they do, and I think if you're Vandy, I don't know if you think you have to get all 8. You've already gone for it on 4th down. You just want to pick up 3, 4, 5 here. Get yourself into a manageable situation. That's not going to help, though.
Tyler Steen, the senior out of St. Thomas Aquinas, shuffled.
Number 54 offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
All right, so think about some of the key plays in this game for Vanderbilt. Go back to the movement they had, which would have left them with a 1st and goal early in the first half.
Yeah, now you back yourself up into a 3rd and even longer. This is Sam Williams territory. Sack specialist for Ole Miss. He's going to be working on the left side against Tyler Steen, who just had that false start. Rocco Griffin is to his side, so maybe he chips. But if he's one-on-one, Sam Williams is a lot to handle there off the left tackle.
Senior from Montgomery, Alabama.
2 D linemen on the right side of the line. Something going on over there.
They hold the pocket. That's complete to Cam Johnson. And that will leave them with a 4th down decision.
And I think they go, right? You got yourself into a manageable situation. Really good job by Tyler Steen holding up on Sam Williams there off the edge. It was a power rush that time.
Yeah, try to turn speed to power, and at that point in time, you're just pressure hopping. We call it a pressure hop. Get your hands inside, get your feet wide, and you're just hopping backwards, basically absorbing that power.
They'll empty the backfield. Right, looking for Johnson. He's covered. Going to try to turn upfield. Well, Mike Wright can make things happen.
Yeah, they really wanted to get the ball to Cam Johnson, working all the way across the line of scrimmage, quick in the flat there. But A.J. Finley did a great job of almost rerouting Johnson there, cutting off the angle. But this is why this offense is different with Mike Wright. The ability to make something out of absolutely nothing. There was one read on that play. It was not there, but your athletic quarterback picks it up on 4th down.
Talking with Joey Lynch this week. We've got 5 quarterback runs on the play sheet. Zone read, speed option, but he's going to run it 12 or 14 times with those option plays. Shot, incomplete. Trying to find Johnson.
It's working on a seam route as a quarterback, especially being down here at field level. You remember just how difficult it is to place this ball in front. The ball ends up a little bit behind his receiver, but it's tough because you don't want to lead him into the safety. Right? But you want to throw it at him, but he's also moving away from you. I mean, the angles of the seam route are very difficult. Makes it one of the harder routes to throw for a quarterback.
Injured player for Ole Miss. And so as they look at him, Mike Wright and his Vandy offense will have a chance to talk a little bit more about it. Cole, what are you seeing from Vandy's offensive line?
Pass protection actually has gotten a little bit better. So I'll show you something real quick. So we talked about that pressure hop. All right. So what happens is when that offensive lineman gets a bull rush inside, so Jordan is going to push me, and he's going to push me back. I get my feet wide and then just push. So I'm just pressure hopping back, pressure hopping back, pressure hopping back. I'm just absorbing that power at that point in time. I don't care if you push me back at that point.
As opposed to moving your feet and giving him ground to take, right?
Absolutely. If I keep my feet too close together, I'm going overboard.
Kind of looked like the enchantment under the sea dance there for a second.
I felt strong there. You feel like I gave you a little push? I mean, I still got some juice, bro.
I was nervous.
2nd and long, Griffin. Nice cut. And it gets dragged down. Another positive play for Vandy.
Well, this drive here could really change the dynamic of the 3rd quarter here, right? I mean, Ole Miss not touching the football, long drive. You get a touchdown here, cut it to a one-score game. Your defense has made some adjustments, hopefully in the second half. It could change things here in the third quarter.
And I think the grand scheme of things, Ole Miss came into this game a heavy favorite. They game plan for the week.
Snap infraction, number 62, offense. 5-yard penalty.
There was absolutely thought given to having a short week against their rival with everything on the line, with the bowl season, with a first ever 10-win regular season for Ole Miss. And now if Vandy gets a score here, even though the game may not be in doubt, it certainly changes how you coach and manage late third, fourth quarter.
Yeah, how could you not look ahead a little bit to the Egg Bowl, your rival Mississippi State playing so well, and also just how injured this team has been. It's not even about next week. It's just about these players and preserving their health. So, yeah, it changes the dynamic and possibly changes what you do here in the second half.
Yeah, Mike Leach said it after their win today. He said, I'm going to be right back in the office tonight. Amir Abdur-Rahim, with his first catch of the night, had 7 grabs against Kentucky last week.
But I tell you, Jake Springer and Rocco Griffin are just had a demolition derby tonight.
It's unbelievable.
It's just like a battle of 2 rams on top of a mountain.
Springer transferred in from Navy. We're talking with some of the Ole Miss guys this week, and we said, describe Jake Springer. Man, he was a playmaker from day one. Otis Reese gave us a full scouting report on him. Transferred in from Navy, where Brian Newberry, the defensive coordinator, said, come here and just blitz nonstop, and he did from his secondary spot. Straight ahead run.
You know what's interesting about being down here on the sidelines is just how much the long snapper.
Hold on a second. What does Mike Wright want? He came running over to the sideline. He needs something from the Vandy sideline. I think he's got a bad wristband.
Yeah, he was adjusting it there on his left arm. Not sure if a card maybe came out. Sometimes those cards can slide out of there. Ken Seals was ready to run out there and give him his wristband, but
third down 3. Springer backing up now. Right, pulls it back, throws, end zone, and a mistimed jump in the end zone by Abdur-Rahim.
Little armband swap there. Yeah, Mike Wright and Ken Seals. So you slide these index cards in there underneath the clear plastic, and sometimes in the middle of a game, it'll open up in the middle of a run, and those cards will slide out. So very well might have happened.
Don't act like those defenders aren't trying to rip it off, too.
Oh, 100%. Open it up, look at it.
Read it.
Fourth down for Vanderbilt.
Got to think Mike Wright outside the pocket.
Stays in the pocket. Crossing route, incomplete. Big hit in the secondary. Trey Washington coming up with the stick for Ole Miss. Matt Corral told Jordan Rogers he's going to take some shots here, but the first possession of the second half doesn't come till 7:57. First half stats brought to you by Zaxby's. 2 touchdowns for Corral, 203 yards for the air, and 37 on the ground. An efficient 19 of 25.
Just not as explosive as we're used to seeing this Ole Miss offense. The chunk plays deep downfield haven't quite been there. Vandy kind of frustrating them with coverage on the back end.
Drummond in motion. The ball got on the ground. Vandy looking for a break, but the Rebels able to fall on it.
It's one of those little touch passes. They've done a good job of getting Drummond the ball in space, but ball got a little loose there. Michael Owusu, one other defender almost fell on it.
Loss of a couple. Trying to create some space with Jerrion Ely. You know, second half against A&M, this Ole Miss offense got really stagnant after putting up 400 yards in the first half. When things aren't working, where's the fix?
Well, it's tough because the fix is the run-to-run, the quarterback runs, right? Involving him in the run game. But, Jeff Lebby and Lane Kiffin have shied away from that a little bit, obviously, with the health of Matt Corral and the health of everybody else. You haven't really seen any design quarterback runs. He's scrambled a little bit. So that's usually your crutch. If this offense is struggling, get to the QB run stuff because it sets up so much in this offense. But they're not doing that.
And so Vandy forces a 3 and out. And there's a little bit more emotion and life on this Vanderbilt sideline. Johnson late to take a hop and scoops it up, taken down by the first man there. 6:51 to go in the third quarter from Vaught Hemingway. 24-9 Ole Miss. 7 Sam Williams has been a wrecker on the defensive side of the ball for Ole Miss this season. 3 tackles and a quarterback pressure tonight. We're over in our special demo area now. Cole Kublik, offensive lineman, going to show us how do you block a guy like Sam Williams.
Yeah, so tackle pass pro. Obviously, he can start outside, and Jordan, he was getting that speed rush upfield first. So I have to get width and depth in my set.
Because I want to get wide and I want to rip underneath, get under and bend under you.
And so where I get in trouble there, come upfield again.
Yeah.
If I open my hips like this, well, then all of a sudden I have no leverage. That pass to the quarterback's
and
quick.
then you start to do that, Sam Williams will widen.
Yep.
He'll come off the edge.
Too much width. Oh! And then I'm done.
Yeah.
So you have to find that balance of width and depth and then be able to use your hands to offset what a guy like Sam Williams can do.
Also kind of surprised we haven't seen more running back help, chipping on the edge against Sam Williams.
Yeah, a little bit, but not a ton.
No.
Ole Miss brings pressure from the edge that time, and they're able to get Mike right past it. So Tyler Seen has had his hands full, Cole, but there's been times where he's been able to stymie Sam Williams.
Take a look at some of the pass pro right here from Tyler Steen. So let's watch. Nice little set there. See, doesn't get too wide, doesn't get too big, and then that's just a pressure hop. Pressure hop.
That's exactly what we showed.
Yep. Get your feet wide, and you just hop back, absorb the power from your defender.
He did a good job there because I think Sam Williams wanted to rush upfield, but he did a good job of getting so much depth that Williams had to change what he was going to do right in the middle.
On 2nd and 7, Wright able to find Griffin out of the backfield. He's only able to find a couple. It'll be 3rd and medium now.
7 checking back in for Ole Miss.
What do you think he does, Cole? You think he goes to speed or you think he goes to power?
Well, see how wide he is. They'll usually give you an indicator of what's going to come. So I'm back here in the end zone.
He's pretty wide,
Pretty wide, yeah. So last time he was this wide, he went speed to power for a bull rush.
Had to deal with traffic. Now he's coming all the way around. Right, a bullet in traffic, and that's good for a Vanderbilt first down.
That's exactly what you were talking about, Jordan, is it doesn't have to be a devastating block from the tailback. Just give me a little traffic. Just give me a little bump. Get in the way, slow down, or change the path of that rusher.
Just make him think, right?
Absolutely.
Sam Williams wanted to win all the way off the edge with speed, make him stutter for just a second. That's all you need. Surprised they haven't done more of that, but I expect to see it moving forward.
Tight end Ben Bresnahan over there now to help out on 7. Right, lets it go. Man coverage. Pierce never saw it or saw it late. Why are they off? They're just kind of off page here.
I tell you what, I just think Mike Wright's getting the ball up too early, right? I mean, Chris Pierce having to work the line of scrimmage, try to get vertical, and he's not even looking. The ball's already halfway there.
Is he impacted by the pass rush?
No, I don't think so. I think he had a little more time than he maybe thought.
I think he saw Springer off the edge that time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So maybe in his head, things are moving.
The clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he does throw it that early, it's got to be more air and over the top. Because that receiver looks up before they look back. You look up and there's nothing there. The ball's already past him.
On 2nd and 10, they run against the pressure, and Springer's there, among others, to bring him down, alongside A.J. Finley. So now 3rd and long.
Another third down. Last time Vandy chipped on Sam Williams right here at the top. Working on Steen. Running back is to his side as well. Let's see if they give him some help.
Sam Williams wide, but he's angled in just a little bit. Tell me maybe inside move.
Stays wide, trying to get to Wright's backside. Wright somehow evades it. But on third down, he's only able to scramble. And a little bit of talk from Williams to Steen after that play.
Boy, just straight speed, right? He set up the power move a couple times early in the first half. Now he's going speed.
You know, what I love about watching games with you guys is we can get granular and we can zero in on just one guy who can impact the game that sometimes viewers may only see the numbers of, but they don't see how they impact plays that they don't get credit for. Harrison Smith. Oh, he gets a fantastic bounce. Sam Williams impacting the game left and right and bringing pressure for Ole Miss. A connection brought to you by T-Mobile, where each week we highlight a player's connection to towns across the SEC.
Well, Matt Corral's parents, Liz and former United States Marine Peter Carroll, have been traveling to Oxford every single weekend that Matt Corral has played a home game. Well, obviously with travel being a little bit of a headache right now, family friend Brett Michaels offered them a ride on his plane to be able to come see Matt play in his final home game of the season. I asked Peter and Liz about it before the game. Peter, you see right there, he looks comfy. He said, I'm going to tell you what, man, that thing was still pretty small. I'm a big dude. I'm a big man. I said, I feel you. But they were very appreciative of Brett, allowing them to utilize their plane to be able to get to the game and not have to deal with the holiday travel. And obviously, Brett's a guy that's known to want to take care of veterans and further honor veterans. And so just another reason he was happy to do it for Peter Corral.
A big play by Jaron Ely on the completion from Corral. It won't be long until the Corral family will have their own jet.
Yeah, the way he's tracking. I mean, I saw Todd McShay had him as his third quarterback. I just don't see that. He's the #1 quarterback on the board for me right now.
Fits that one into tight window for Casey Kelly. That's what you're talking about, the third-ranked quarterback according to Todd McShay this summer's NFL draft.
I think he's a really good comp to Zach Wilson, right? From a talent standpoint. That's why Zach Wilson shot up the boards in last year's NFL draft, going #2 overall. Just the sheer talent, except for I think Matt Corral's a lot better. He's put up a lot more better numbers against better competition. So I think the work is there, not just the talent. He backs it up with what he's done for a few years now at the highest level.
Looking right, coming back left on his toes. And that's complete to the sideline. Ja'Cour Pearson, who's really turned into a great weapon for Ole Miss over the last few games.
Yeah, especially as Mingo went down, they lost a piece, and Pearson really was non-existent the first 3 games of the year. He's kind of filling that role that Elijah Moore did, right? Yeah. A slot player. Now that Mingo's back, he's playing a little bit more outside this game and not quite a focal point that he has been for the past month or so.
Ely, the spin move. Ricky Wright, sophomore from Gadsden, Alabama, brings him down.
Couple times now, Jeff Lebby has dialed up a few shot plays, but again, nothing was there. Corral's done a good job of, saw the check down to Jerrion Ely in space, saw him pump a couple plays ago, try to look deep, hit the backside comeback route as another outlet throw. Here
Corral,
again,
the boot, pressured, and they fold him up. He rolled right into the pressure.
That's the play. So this is the play that Matt Corral told me at halftime that, hey, I think we're going to dial this up. I think it's going to be a touchdown. But again, it was protection, right? They want to move the pocket a little bit to the right, reset the launch point. But just when you do that, you have to be really firm on the front side, right? Because that quarterback is now not in the middle of the pocket. He's about 5 or 6 yards over. Too much leakage on the front side. Can't look downfield for Braylon Sanders.
Now 3rd and 16. Incomplete. Off of the hands of Dennis Jackson. And an empty possession for the Ole Miss offense. They will punt it away.
A really accurate throw to the outside here. on a deep out-breaking route. Right in the hands, but Dennis Jackson couldn't come down to it. And you mentioned it earlier, that at times this Ole Miss offense has stalled. They're stalled right now. They got to find a way to generate some explosive plays downfield. It starts with protection that hasn't been great the last few times they've dialed it up.
On the other side, Mike Wright and Vanderbilt kind of in a rhythm here lately. Well, Rocco Griffin carrying the load tonight for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it's great to have him back. Great to have him healthy. Missed the last 2 games. He's done it all. He's been physical in the run game, and he's done a great job of those plays that don't show up in the stat sheet. The blocks, the chips off the edge to make sure that Mike Wright and his quarterback have that extra second against a really good Ole Miss front 3. And especially Sam Williams off the edge. They've really tried to neutralize him and done a good job so far.
Over the century mark, he did the same against Stanford, 19 for 107 earlier this season. Vandy averaging 4 yards a carry in the run game. And they stick with it here. It'll be a little bit less than the average.
We tell you about split zone sometimes. Watch Gavin Schoenwald, 10, come flat across the line of scrimmage and just pop an Ole Miss defender who's already engaged with another Vanderbilt offensive lineman. But split zone something become very popular where that tight end will come flat across the line of scrimmage opposite the direction that the play is intended to go.
I thought it was just the name of a podcast.
Haven't heard the tape on that one.
Yeah. On 2nd and 6, Wright lowers his shoulder and maybe got a yard of forward progress. Well, there is some trash talk coming from Springer at the end of that play, standing right over the top of Ben Bresnahan. We got 3 quarters in the books now, and Ole Miss with a 24-9 lead over Vanderbilt, but not as comfortable as some of the Ole Miss fans thought it was going to be. Sorry, I don't have a lightsaber like Elijah Drinkwitz brought to the post-game press conference. The trash talk knows no bounds. Missouri finishes with Arkansas next week. Florida gets Florida State. Key 3rd down. Wright hassled again, floats it in, complete, and Vandy will have to punt it away. Harrison Smith, 5th in school history in career punt average. Had an 86-yarder against Colorado State, longest in the SEC this year. That's pretty. Drummond will ask for a fair catch. And we'll see what Ole Miss has in store. Let's take a look at the Mercedes road to the championship. You know, the day started in the Big Ten with Ohio State putting up some big numbers. It's almost like Bryce Young knew what was going on, because in this Heisman race, he's sprinting to the finish line with a monster game today for Bama.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud went from kind of lukewarm in the Heisman race to red hot. And Bryce Young goes, yeah, hold my alcoholic beverage real quick. I'm going to go throw for 5 tugs and 5 honey real quick.
C.J. Stroud benefiting from that 130th ranked pass defense in the country.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, they look like it. Blue Michigan State out early. Here's Drummond finding the sideline in a foot race. Brown missed on his last couple passes previous possession, and now Ole Miss having a chance to go tempo.
Drummond a little hobbled after that throw. Doesn't come out. He's lined up in the slot now.
Ball on the ground, picked up just as soon as it hit it by Snoop Connor.
Where that run game gets going, that really opens up the RPOs. Those little slant routes that Ole Miss does so well. Haven't seen too many tonight.
Second and 3, it's Snoop again. Snoop. 17 of his 24 career rushing touchdowns have come inside the 5. It's like what Tommy Vardell did to Barry Sanders. Like, you guys get it all the way down the field. I'll just clean up at the end.
I don't know who Tommy Vardell is.
You're so young.
Touchdown Tommy?
I don't.
Change of direction for Snoop Connor. Bring your green hat.
Again, just a vision by Snoop Connor. Finding the lane and hitting it. All 3 of these running backs, it's amazing. Like, Jerrion Ealy's so dynamic. Snoop comes in, they don't miss a beat. Henry Parrish comes in, they don't miss a beat.
Malik Langham is down on a knee. The senior out of Huntsville Lee will get some attention from the athletic training staff. And that will leave Ole Miss looking at a 2nd and 5 after this injury timeout. SEC Saturday Night presented by T-Mobile. 24-9 lead for Ole Miss. Matt Corral having an okay night tonight. It's just when you're in a Heisman race, it's tough to keep up with guys who are putting up historic numbers. School record in passing yards for Bryce Young, and C.J. Stroud tied a school record for touchdown passes.
Yeah, and the differentiator for Matt Corral was always his ability to score touchdowns and gain yards with his legs. Obviously, that was hindered for about a month with the injuries. He may not run away with it or win it, but easily one of the best players in the entire country every single week.
Plumlee in the game. Trips to the right for Corral. Pressure from the edge. Corral hits the slant and takes it inside the 10 for an Ole Miss first down.
There's those RPOs I was talking about, right? Once that run game gets going, it really opens up that run pass option. Those linebackers bite, pull it, hit the slant right behind them.
And now back to the run game. Touchdown, Ole Miss. Henry Parrish Jr. It's almost like it works in concert, huh?
That's what makes it so difficult. Literally the same exact look as the play before, just this time. The linebackers didn't bite up, so Corral hands it off. It's one of those offenses where they always have the pen at the end on the whiteboard, right? They can always make the last draw, make the last move.
Thought it was a marker. You use pens on your whiteboard?
Markers, maybe? There you go. Yeah.
That is a digital pen for Cole Kublik. What do you got, Cole, on the telly?
Just a zone play from Ole Miss, and they benefit a little bit from the movement of the Vanderbilt defense initially. Watch this group slant, and you're going to see Casey Kelly right there with the big pickup. He comes flat across the line of scrimmage. Ricky Wright climbing to the line of scrimmage, and Casey Kelly redirects late to get the key block to allow for the Ole Miss touchdown, and Henry Parrish rolls it in.
Cole, how important is a tight end to what Jeff Lebby wants to do?
He would tell you that he cannot run his offense. They cannot be everything they want to be without the tight end. And they're going to use him to formation you. They're going to move him. They're going to give you visual deception off of him. Not a ton of catches for a tight end like Casey Kelly. Not quite athletic enough to really stretch the field. We saw what they could do with the Kenny Yeboah last year. They'll utilize him a little bit more in the passing game, but Kelly's done a really nice job physically to be able to give this offense exactly what they need.
Special thanks to Wheels Up for making travel easier. Jordan was in Tuscaloosa this morning for Nation. Got here in time for a late breakfast today. You're in for spent some time with Big Al this morning, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you had to think about that. You're like, wait.
Well, there used to be this breakfast place back home that was called Al's, and I was like, Big Al. Well, I did have a good big bad breakfast today, but yes, I did. I tell you what, that Tuscaloosa, I mean, Alabama, Arkansas got interesting for a little while.
It sure did. It was high scoring but close.
Yeah. I'm interested to watch that tape and see just what Arkansas was able to do to be successful.
Griffin, bear hug by Chance Campbell.
We just talked about split zone. Ole Miss running it there. Vanderbilt goes to it, and the discipline of Chance Campbell not to get pulled away by the tight end movement, sticks right there with the zone play, fits just at the line of scrimmage. Excellent job.
Was recruited by DJ Durkin to Maryland. Spent a few years there, then transferred to Ole Miss. Campbell, good lacrosse player in high school. Here comes Springer chasing down right. Beautiful catch by Pierce. Used every bit of his frame to go up and get that at 6'4".
That is what you want to see. You want to get Mike Wright outside the pocket, and I love what he does here. Trust your big-bodied receiver. Don't put too much air on this. That allows the defense to recover, throw it on the line, and let Chris Pierce go up, climb the ladder, and come down with that one.
Vandy's been out there a while. This is their 69th play of the night. Right over the middle, able to find his tight end, and that's a gain for at least 9, maybe 10.
Caught Ole Miss in the blitz. Lakia Henry coming in that B gap. A three-man game up front with the linebacker looping around. That's a pretty nice read from Mike Wright to be able to have the wherewithal that that's where the pressure's coming from and just dump it off to the tight end.
Man coverage on the outside. Pierce.
Oh, I'm right here, guys. He actually caught the football. Not going to be in bounds, but a heck of an effort to be able to go grab that ball with one hand, pull it into the body, survive the ground, but just a little bit too wide.
So 3rd and 1. They took a shot at 2nd and 1. Jordan, it's good 4-down territory, right?
Absolutely.
Take another shot?
No, I don't think you do. I think you want to pick this up. You got 2 chances to run up the middle a couple times in the first half. 3rd quarter, going for it on 4th and short. That was what they went to. And once again, movement up front.
False start, number 68, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
But I tell you what, you watch before this snap, and it almost appears as though a little bit of barking going on. Caught it a little bit late there.
Turns into a 3rd and 6. Pressure coming. Wright gets rid of it. Complete to Pierce. And he's got a Vanderbilt first down.
Boy, he fired that ball. I'm right behind Mike Wright. I saw the window that he threw it through. I tell you what, the receiver did not have more than a split second to adjust to that. Great throw. It was accurate, but it was on his receiver in a hot second. Those are tough. What you don't realize watching the game on TV, what you notice when you're down here is just how much traffic is in the way of the quarterback, how much traffic is in the way of the receiver as that ball comes through the offensive line. It's a tough catch.
There's a lot of traffic down here. Cole, what do I do with this field judge in my way?
Don't bump
Here's a reverse. Now they want to throw it. Right. Everybody covered downfield. He's got Pierce. And Pierce takes a shot at the hip after catching the first down ball.
This is a veteran move. They got 2 deep routes. Chris Pierce, the tight end along the right sideline. Chris Pierce sees his quarterback's in trouble and just comes back to the ball. That's what you're taught. Scramble drill. If you're short, you go long. If you're long, you work back to the quarterback to the sideline. Great job by their 5th-year senior.
To run it with Griffin. Picked up a yard, 2nd and 9.
Pretty good job by Wright handling that snap there. Almost got over his head.
Hey guys, update from the Ole Miss. There's no heaters over here. Interesting.
Gonna blow your mind after this 2nd down play. Ziegler in for his 2nd offensive play of the night. Pressure from Springer, got a hit on the quarterback, and Will Shepard with the grab.
No, I see it now.
The benches are heated as opposed to the jet engine flames we got coming out on the Vandy sideline with the metal benches.
There's only like 2 banks of heated benches. There's a lot of just steel metal benches that are probably a little chilly.
It's easier for us to get warm on the Vandy sideline than the Ole Miss side. You'd have to go sit down in the middle of the O-line.
Yeah, what are we doing over here?
No. 3rd and 4. Slant, nice move. Cam Johnson to the 5, to the 2, and they'll mark him down at the 1-yard line.
That's a great job by Joey Lynch, the play caller for Vandy, of moving Cam Johnson. A lot of 3rd downs. He's been moving Johnson from one side to the other. That time moves him from right to left, make the defense adjust, and then a little inside slant move for the big pickup.
Griffin through traffic, touchdown Vanderbilt. It's been a long season for Vanderbilt. Clark Lee talked to us about the grind that it's been, the enthusiasm he has, but it's been a grind for him. A lot of victories to take out of this drive and this game tonight, and to leave the offense on the field to try to go for 2.
Yeah, I think having been part of a rebuild, especially at Vandy, that they're not the moral victory thing. That's not what it is, but they're building blocks and things to build off of when you watch tape. And really building blocks for confidence, which is one of the biggest things you have to have in a rebuild situation.
Bad snap. Wright took his eyes off of it, and now turned into a scramble drill. And he gets horse collar down, and that'll bring a flag. Chance Campbell thought he had an opportunity for a fumble return, but what a face mask to yank him down.
Yeah, it was a violent face mask, and just it's such a mental error. You're so far behind the line. I mean, you're 20 yards deep from where the line of scrimmage is. No need to do that. They give Vandy another chance.
Ole Miss is going to bring in a fresh set of defenders, including Momo Sunogo. And
personal foul, face mask, number 7, defense. Phillies half the distance to the goal, replay the try.
Again, it's a violent face mask, and everybody's going full speed. You're not meaning to do that. Sam Williams just trying to make a play, but that far behind the line of scrimmage, just can't make that kind of mistake.
Second chance at the 2-point conversion. Wright surveys to the tight end. Diving catch for 2. Ben Bresnahan with a beautiful route.
And Bresnahan got tied up a little bit. You'd like this ball to be on Bresnahan a little bit sooner. Gets tied up and makes a great catch to finish that one off. Give Vandy a little more momentum. Cutting it to 31-17. Another big drive by Vandy, capped off with that 2-point conversion right to Bresnahan.
SEC Saturday Night is presented by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G network.
Senior night here at Ole Miss. Honored 26 seniors before the game and others, including Matt Corral, who announced this would be his last game at Vaught Hemingway Stadium. And the thought with the short week for the Egg Bowl guys is ideally, as heavy favorites, Ole Miss would have loved to have gotten some of these starters off the field a lot earlier. I provided that opportunity.
You get Bingo back, who Lane Kiffin told us about 70%. Wanted to get him some game action, get him comfortable. Obviously, Matt Corral's been battling that injury to his lower extremity. Probably didn't want him to go 4 quarters tonight either, especially with that short week.
Got 5 days away, but I tell you what, you look up at the scoreboard, still a ball game. I mean, a big drive here for Ole Miss to put this away, but they've stalled a little bit this second half.
Yeah, I think it's like you said earlier in the broadcast, Jordan, the run game's got to get going. I think some of the traditional runs, inside-outside zone duo, this offensive line's got to step up. They've been great the majority of this year. This is where they need them now.
Snoop Connor in the backfield now next to Corral. Fake to Drummond, now looking deep. Plenty of time. Corral lets it fly after directing traffic, and coming back to get it for a first down is Ja'Cour Pearson.
Who needs run plays?
Yeah. Don't listen to us.
You guys
right?
are geniuses.
No, I love it, though. You see how hard Corral pumped to start that. He wanted to pump to the right, hit a deep shot to the left. It wasn't their bot time, and then just pointed downfield. Hey, Ja'Cour, go that way.
That's his backyard ball, man.
And here's that run game. Snoop Connor, junior from Hattiesburg. Connor again on 2nd and 7. Trying to win a race to the edge inside the 20 to the 10.
We talked about duo. You see the double teams right off the bat, and the play's just going to track backside. And the beauty of duo is it can hit anywhere. Snoop Connor cuts that thing all the way back across the intended area. Is going to hit.
Back to that ground game.
And they will run it again. Not afraid. How about that finish from Nick Broker right there? 64.
Anthony Orji in on the tackle.
You go back and watch the LSU film. Ole Miss was coming out of their own end zone. They got duo going. I think they ran it 6 consecutive plays.
Jerrion Ely. This Vanderbilt defensive line, the linebackers doing a fantastic job tonight.
I'm watching the analytics guy right here just tell Kiffin it's a no-go on 4th down. So he said there's not a yardage here. This would be a field goal situation. So 1 down to get a touchdown, or Vandy will force a field goal here.
Pearson fake to Corral, fires, intercepted. Vandy with the takeaway. Just the 3rd interception of the season for Matt Corral.
And Lane Kiffin's going to need a new headset here. Try a little misdirection. Try to fit one in the end zone there, and Vandy linebacker right there to make a huge play. And looked up earlier, it's a ball game.
Ethan Barr with the takeaway, Vandy football. Five-star play of the game brought to you by Yellowwood.
Vandy linebacker Ethan Barr going to grab the interception. Watch play action come across the line of scrimmage. As soon as Barr sees that Corral has the ball, he gets depth. Corral has to float that ball. Braylon Sanders wide open in the end zone. No surprise there that Lane's frustrated.
Yeah, not having a great night, huh?
I felt that headset hit the ground. I was about 10 feet away.
Mike Wright has had to operate from the painted end zone a couple times tonight. Chance Campbell showing pressure. Wright lobs it. Pierce caught it. First down, Vanderbilt.
So notice the difference, right? That's a route that they've missed on multiple times tonight. The more air that time. Mike Wright put more air on the ball that time. Chris Pierce had the ability to adjust perfectly on the outside shoulder. Man coverage, they attacked it. I love being aggressive out of your own end zone.
And Jordan Vanderbilt went to slide protection there, so making it a little bit easier to hold the point of attack to allow Mike Wright to get that ball out.
Wright was looking for his tight end. Now he's got to run with it. Four and a half minutes and counting, 31-17.
They got to play with a little bit of urgency here. You see the tempo. Not extremely fast, but they're definitely in more of a 2-minute pace.
Here's Pierce on the outside. And he gets out of bounds. Stop the clock, 4:20. It's almost like Mike Wright is more comfortable with this tempo than what they were doing earlier.
Well, you think about it, when you go tempo, there's a package of plays, usually 10 to 15, especially pass concepts that are more like day one or week one installs. So it's stuff that are more basic that you run all the time. So a quarterback, you know him like the back of your hand. You don't have to think about it. You just react. So a lot of times, young quarterbacks especially will be a lot better in the 2-minute situation. Obviously, there's 4 minutes on the clock, but they're in a 2-minute situation with the pace that they're pushing and the package that they're using right now for Mike Wright.
Pressure from the edge, Wright delivers, and Will Shepard's got another grab. To the ground game now, Rocco Griffin. So that'll bring up 4th and a short 2. Call it 1 officially.
I'm not sure of the numbers off the top of my head. We don't have a monitor in front of us, but Vandy's been really good in 3rd and short and 4th and short situations.
On the season, top 50 in 4th down conversions. To the slant. Incomplete. No flag. Cam Johnson, the intended receiver. And with 3:17 away, a turnover on downs.
A lot of contact there on the slant. Physical play. Refs let it go. Ole Miss gets the ball.
(31-17) lead for Ole Miss. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kublik on this other side. We came down the field to get another perspective on the speed and the power in college football. And there's a lot of great takeaways, I think. One of the big ones, if you're a Vanderbilt fan, they're playing a great game tonight.
Yeah, and Mike Wright has added an element to this offense that they didn't have, the escapability, and really looked good in the 2-minute drill before they stalled on that 4th down conversion. But Vandy showed a lot tonight.
Well, they have frustrated Lane Kiffin, especially with Ole Miss's offensive inefficiency. Matt Corral still in the game. Snoop Connor. Well, very nice of you to allow us to come down into your territory for an evening.
I've enjoyed having you guys down here, and so the general public can learn how soft you are and how you got cold and have been demanding snacks the entire time.
Hold up. Soft?
I was talking to Tom.
I brought a jacket, and I'm not wearing the jacket. I'm rolling with it. And the legs are getting a little tight, but
you danced with the dance team. That one should keep you warm.
I did. I think I was on the Jumbotron, and I'm definitely on Ole Miss's Twitter account right now.
You might be trending.
Yeah.
I'm really close to getting a coat. Really close. Ole Miss, from that perspective, right? You got a short week to get ready for Mississippi State. The offense now, essentially, 6 quarters has failed to produce.
I think thought with the receivers coming back and being so healthy that it would just pick right up where it left off. But you forget that they haven't had the time to build the chemistry, right? Mingo's been out of this rotation for a very long time. You plug him back in, that changes everybody's role and changes everything. So it may take a little bit.
And Cole, Will Rogers is changing into an elite quarterback every game.
I tell you, I was listening to you guys have that Heisman conversation a little bit earlier. Last 5 games for Will Rogers, 79%, 20 touchdowns, 3 picks, 2,253 yards.
Is that good?
9 300-yard games in a row. Pretty good.
And again, I think the difference in that is you can roll guys and say the air raid and the dink and dunk. It hasn't been that the last month. Yes, they throw the ball a lot, but Will Rogers has been pushing the ball downfield in chunks. This offense is hitting their stride at the right time.
I think even more impressive for me, and I think we had a really one of the best seats for it, is the adjustments that he and Mike Leach are making through the course of games. We go back and think about the second half of that Arkansas game, the second half of the Auburn game, the second half of the A&M game, just how different he's been in the second half as opposed to the first half.
Let's take a look at our great performance brought to you by State Farm. And overall, the day by Matt Corral starts out with senior day, a hug from mom, handshake from dad, directing traffic and doing what Matt Corral does in the biggest moments.
Yeah, he's a special player. I mean, was it his most clean night? No, but he was still done. This offense still did enough to get it done. He's got a lot of great memories here at the Vaught. This one maybe not the top of the list, but a pretty special night for Matt Corral all around.
326 yards, 2 touchdowns on a 26-35 night. So count as a pass to Ontario Drummond. Vanderbilt 1 timeout remaining.
And it just tells you what I think of Matt Corral and what he's done in his career to say, oh, it was just an 326, 2 touchdowns. And I think he really wanted to come out here, throw 5 or 6 touchdowns, get things going here, heat up that Heisman conversation again. It didn't really go in that direction, but still a great night for number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to go to City Grocery and have a big dinner, but sometimes
you don't always get what you want, Tom.
Sometimes work gets in the way. I mean, I kind of feel like with you being gone last night and that nation today, I had a hoops game last night at Georgia. We missed out on the Oxford experience.
We did, but we both ate 2 breakfasts this morning at about 12 o'clock, so we made up for it.
Guess.
I'm still feeling missing. That sausage, egg, and cheese is keeping me going since 1 o'clock. I haven't had anything since.
Vandy forces the punt. Wow, that's a beauty. Cam Johnson, no chance for a return. .249 to play. Vanderbilt used its last time out before that 4th down play, so Mike Wright down a couple of scores. Don't have much time to mess around.
No, and if you look at what has worked best, it's been Chris Pierce on the outside. You know, he played Z, that X position. When he's split wide, it's really hard to double team. So you're going to have another opportunity to throw it up to him in one-on-one coverage if you want it here down right in front of us. Working on DeAndre Prince, excuse me.
Incomplete. Rocco Griffin had traffic right in front of him. Tysheem Johnson, the freshman from Philly.
Yeah, that's one of those that you want to airmail it over your running back, right? You're working inside first. You panic a little bit. You go outside. You know he's going to get hit. Throw that about 5 rows deep.
Pressure from the edge from Sam Williams. Right with a jump pass nearly picked. 3rd and 10. Scrambling for it now, and it gets to the outside. It gets a 1st down, and the clock will stop.
Boy, isn't the speed impressive down here on the sideline? Had a pass play dialed up, trying to get a ball to the sticks on the right side. Mike Wright does a great job of listening to his feet. As a quarterback, you step up, you hitch once, you hitch twice. After that second hitch, the ball's not out. You got to make a move, and he did to keep the sticks moving.
Oh, Pierce could have gotten out of bounds. Instead, he goes back to the numbers. That's going to cost Vandy some time. Clock rolling at 2:12. Right over the middle, incomplete. 3rd and 7 coming up.
Boy, Sam Williams on that play. Looked back at the referee looking for a flag. He came hot around the edge. Got hooked a little bit by Tyler Steen. Not quite enough for a flag, but these are the situations that Sam Williams is so dangerous. Knows it's a throw every single down, pinning his ears back and coming after Mike Wright.
Wright stepping up again on 3rd and long. Sprints towards the sideline and able to get to the Ole Miss bench area. 1:45 on the clock.
I think Mo Sanogo was spied there, but just kind of got caught up in some traffic. Couldn't keep up with quarterback.
Wright pressured, flips it out. Griffin has the sideline and takes a shot and goes out of bounds.
That right there might be my favorite play for Mike Wright all night. And you may overlook it, but he got pressure in the pocket, and immediately his first reaction was, where's my check down? That shows growth and development. Spit the ball out to your running back in space. Let him make a play.
Crossing routes. He's able to go to the tight end, Schonenwald. Down to the 14-yard line. 1:27 now and rolling. There's an injured player on the field for Ole Miss. That'll stop the clock with 1:27. Jamon Gordon. (31-17). Athletic training staff out checking out Gordon, and Vanderbilt able to take advantage and get a free timeout. They're out of timeouts. They're looking at Gordon's left ankle, lower left leg. And now, as a young quarterback, Mike Wright gets some time to slow things down a little bit.
Yeah, and he's talking to play caller Joey Lynch, and really Joey's giving him 2 plays. Right, so here's what we're going to do first, and if that stays in bounds, let's tempo to the line of scrimmage, and here's what we're going to run next. So really important that you have 2 plays in case there's a sack, and you got to hurry up. You don't want to wait on a play call. Call 2 plays that your quarterback's comfortable with, and roll.
A couple opportunities on this drive for Vanderbilt receivers to get out of bounds. Pierce a couple plays ago didn't do it, fighting for yardage. The clock seems so much more important down 2 scores.
It is. But you also look with no timeouts, right? They're going to have to onside kick as well.
Sure.
So yards and points are paramount, right? You'd love to save as much time as possible, but got to score here regardless. So guys probably will fight for the extra yards here.
Ole Miss has not been able to get pressure on Wright. Williams, number 7, the single-season sack leader for Ole Miss, lined up over the right tackle.
It's going to be cover 1 here.
Wright looking in zone, just off the hands of Cam Johnson.
Extremely accurate throw here on the back shoulder. It's such a hard catch for Cam Johnson. He spins all the way around at the last second to try to bring that one in. Ole Miss manning up here across the board.
On 2nd down with 1:21 remaining. Pressure from the safety. Wright throws to the sideline. It is caught, intercepted. He got a toe down. Wow, what a fantastic play by Prince. The result of that play looks like a little divot from Jordan's wedge.
I'll tell you what, let's look at the replay. He's in. That was his toe right there. A heck of a play on the sideline to bring that one in.
Man, that is a big-time play by DeAndre Prince, and a look from Pylon Cam to confirm. Second pick of the season. He's going to bookend it. He got a pick against Louisville in his first game back to open the season.
Ruling on film of interception is confirmed. First down, Ole Miss.
The body control was so impressive.
I mean, it was almost like slow motion to him. We're standing literally 5 yards from him. He caught it and he looked back down.
Yeah.
At the field of play as he's literally hovering over out of bounds and gets that foot back in. Unreal.
So not a highly productive night for Matt Corral and this Ole Miss offense. They put 31 points on the board, but they're going to end it with the opportunity to run out the clock. Vanderbilt has no timeouts remaining. Going to get it out of the end zone, and they'll do that. How about DeAndre Price from the Pylon Cam?
This might be the best view you're going to have from it. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Look how far out of bounds he is.
Yeah, 99.9% of his body is across the line.
We're right there. I was right. Look at that. We're right over his feet.
Hey, look, you're on
right
TV.
There. I mean, unreal how far out of bounds his body was, yet able to somehow tap that toe.
Size 13 left a divot in the sod here at Jerry Hollingsworth Field, just inside the 2-yard line. Clock will run out on Vanderbilt, and this will be the final time Matt Corral leaves the field as an Ole Miss Rebel in Oxford. Yes, the Egg Bowl next week in Starkville, and a bowl game in Ole Miss's future. The question remaining is how great a game could Ole Miss end up in? Their rivalry will decide that. Cole standing by with Lane Kiffin.
Coach Kiffin, you said you were going to have to do things in a little bit of a different way. Obviously not exactly the way that you expected, but a lot of frustration I saw from you tonight. Why were you frustrated with your offense?
I mean, we just didn't do what we were supposed to do. You know, I'm going to focus on the positive. We're 7-0 at home for the first time in the history of the school, and you know, have a chance next week to get to 10 wins, which has never been done in the regular season. So we just really weren't crisp. But I think part of that is Matt missing a lot of practice of receivers, and so it was just frustrating. But you know, we got to win, and that's the most important thing.
Matt Corral gets to walk off this field for the last time as a winner. How will you remember Matt Corral playing on this field?
Competitor, you know, gave everything to his team, and just awesome. I really love him.
I know you said that next week means a lot, but when you begin to think about the Egg Bowl, it'll be a short week to prepare for it. What comes to mind?
Well, we got to get ready already. They got a 6-hour head start on us because they've been done for a while, so we got to get to work, and players got to be here first thing in the morning ready to go.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.
A win's a win, and Lane Kiffin looking at the positive, and that's what you take from it. It's going to be a heck of a battle. The Egg Bowl Thursday night on ESPN.
Yeah, and a ton of positives for this Ole Miss team. Just think about what's ahead for them. The possibility, like Coach Kiffin said, of 10 wins, a Sugar Bowl possibility. I mean, this is going to be a historic team if they finish this off. But again, Egg Bowl next week, enormous.
All right. Who you got in the Egg Bowl? You got Matt Corral in this Ole Miss offense on one side. You got Will Rogers and the air raid on the other side.
Right this very second, I think I'll take Mississippi State.
It's a toss-up for me. Mississippi State playing so good on both sides of the ball. We'll see, baby.
Hey, thanks to our crew for setting us up. Been a blast down on the field. We'll see you next week from LSU. Let's get to the studio. Here's Dari.